p.m. Eastern Time. We are uniting as one to call down divine enlightenment over the earth and all life forms. So join us for 5 minutes or the full hour for this worldwide event online in the comfort of your own home. Tune in live to uprntalkradio.com or the UFRO Paranormal Radio YouTube channel. Or you can go to our website and our forum site, worldenlightenment2021.org. That's WORLDENLIGHTENMENT 2021.org for more information on this World Enlightenment 2021 event on December 24th, 5 to 6 p.m. We are all coming together in harmony. So let light unite. Think Quantum Leap, World Enlightenment now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Centralist. That's Kathy Belsky. She's running an ad for something she's got coming up in a couple of weeks, so y'all be sure to go check it out.
Oh my God, it was horrible sitting through that, man.
Good. No, behave yourself. They, it's one of them things you got to do. Hey, you just people out there. People are not like us. We're kind of crazy. There's some people out there that are peace and love, light, and calm.
Peace.
I'm not calm. I can't help myself. I'm not calm. But anyway, let me get up here closer to the mic.
I thought you said peace through superior firepower. Wasn't that your tagline, Joe?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We're going to actually talk about that tonight. That's interesting you said that because we're going to talk about that in a little while. But anyway, everybody, welcome to the Centralist. You just heard Mike Langley and myself, Joe Montaldo. Jay McNichol's going to be joining us in a little while. He's out taking a rest because he was just on with Jeffrey Pritchard for 2 hours in the Church of Mavis. They were talking about some interesting stuff, so be sure to go check out that archive. Their guests, I love these guests that it's 1 o'clock in the morning when they call them and they're fresh and ready to talk. It's nice because it's, they don't have to do that. I mean, I'm sure they can do British shows and shows in Europe. So far this year, COVID's been an interesting thing for me, by the way. So I've made all the EU countries. I've done at least 2 shows in each EU country this year, invited. And I got to say this. So I'm doing this German show, right? And the guy's got Duhas doing his music coming in, right? And I'm like, damn, this is going to be an interesting show. This dude comes on, he's got spiked flaming hair and shit. I'm like, wow, this is going to be fun. He just comes out with this stuff. And so we were talking. I'm like, dude, I said, I love your accent, but I don't have not a freaking clue what you're saying. It's like, come on. So he got his girlfriend to come on and translate. It was hilarious. And I mean, not translate. I mean, he was speaking English, but there was such a heavy, deep German accent. It was like, yeah, Joe. No, yeah, Michael. Yeah. I was like, yeah, what the fuck ever didn't speak English correctly? But it was a great show. It was a lot of fun, and we got into some heavy stuff. He was definitely in some deep, dark stuff over there in Germany, and he had some other deep, dark stuff going on over there. But most of my gigs, though, for the last 2 years have been political, not UFO related. Bad shame on me. Because I should be doing more UFO stuff because we got us new data, but I've really been doing more political stuff. It's ever since the Emperor Joe Biden took office. You know what? I can't call him Joe. I'm sorry. I just it's my namesake. I just can't call him Joe. Since Mr. Biden or President Biden took over, it's just been like, let's go back to 2016 when Trump won. So we all know it's like, whoa, what the hell? The orange guy got in office. Oh shit, what the hell? End of the world, it's gonna go away. And it was. Let's not lie. You and I both know it was a roller coaster ride. To be polite about it, and he did some good stuff and he did some stupid stuff. But I actually think he did more good than stupid. But so he segued to Joe Biden, and what the hell? I mean, I feel like I'm living in a Twilight Zone. I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on, man? I mean, just this dude is 1 minute he's like this, 1 minute he's like that, 1 minute he's like this, and then come on, he fell asleep. People, I mean, so the Israeli ambassador is there, and this guy's all passionate, talking about whatever he's talking about. You can see him; he's looking at Joe Biden like, yeah. And Joe Biden's over there like this. But I don't have a mask, so you can't see, but his face was covered like this, and he had his hands like this, and he was sleeping, dude.
Maybe he was praying, man.
Oh no, he was sleeping because the conversation, the guy 3 different times. You know how you open a conversation, you leave it open for someone to come in to say something, right?
I do.
Yeah, Biden.
You do.
I mean, everybody does.
You or I never do that.
Yeah, we do that. We do that. When we're being polite, but
Oh,
In this case, he did it. The guy did it. The ambassador did it, and Biden didn't say anything. And I'm thinking, wow, dude,
'cause
you are
he's
out.
elderly, man. The guy's like
I was
pushing
waiting
80.
for him to start snoring, and then I really was. So, but there's just I wanted to give the guy a fair chance. To me, all presidents should have a fair chance because I don't give a shit if you're Republican or Democrat or something in between. You're running my country, so I at least hope you'll do something. I mean, so you could go start at the beginning or in the back, wherever. I mean, the guy is just a nightmare. I mean,
He's a Pino. He's a president in name only, and you know that he was placed there, but from their unbelievable campaign of propaganda, you know exactly what happened. You were there. You saw the whole thing, and
yes, I
this is
saw
what
it
we've
there.
got.
I seen
There's
the illegal votes, by the way.
it,
Oh,
it
sorry.
wasn't like it wasn't fair the way they brainwashed people and psychologically used them to vote. Not I'm not saying manufacturing. I'm saying they brainwashed people.
Get
It
out
was a
there and vote for me
propaganda
this year.
campaign.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
so
a big propaganda campaign, and now,
now they're stuck with it because
well, they're
they're in
scared
charge.
because
They're in
now,
charge and they have to make rules.
yeah, well, now they're scared because one, they've got to stop Facebook because Trump could get over there and do harm because Trump's back on Facebook now. They let him back on. Mysteriously, the day Facebook crashed, Trump came back on. I'm not sure if there's any significance to that, but it was interesting.
That
That
was
that
in
happened.
the Bible. I remember that, man.
Yeah, thump Trump.
It's going to start
Um,
raining frogs now. Isn't it?
but it's got to be a nightmare for them because now Trump can come up and say these were my policies. They were all gas was $1.46 a gallon. Down here was $1.26 a gallon. He said there was no people rushing across the board. It's not 2 million. There weren't too many illegals came in his whole 4 years, and Biden's at 2 million, and we're not even what 2/3 of the way through the year yet. I'm like Jesus, this is just a nightmare. And
COVID
and
infected
and then
illegal
and then wait,
aliens.
and isn't that what Biden ran on? Well, I'll get rid of COVID. I will get rid of COVID, and there will be no more COVID. And then this was funny, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if y'all know who the Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano is, but I was telling them last night. They were saying, well, they can't drive. And I said, yeah, you can drive into our southern border. They said, what do you mean? I said, anybody can come in through the southern border. They're like, no, no, no. I said, yeah, just fly down to Mexico and get in your car and say I'm illegal and drive across the border. They're going to let you in there. They're going to ask you what you're doing.
I love Amelia. She's a hottie patati, man.
Oh, my
I like
God.
I like the both of them, but Michelle's just too tough.
Her husband's going to mold you in a bottom of cheese or something. We're not going to hear from you again,
I love
man.
cheese.
Yeah, you have to eat your way out, apparently. Oh,
Hey
okay,
man,
anyway.
you're preaching my.
We're just not
You're
even going
preaching to
there.
the choir.
Amelia, if you listen,
How
he's the
dare
bad
you
one.
say
I'm the
that
good
on
one.
national radio, Joe?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, national, international these days.
International
But I
radio.
mean, but so that's so. Let's go back to international. That's where we need to be anyway. So now I was looking at these polls from these German and the Russian thing cracks me up. Russian and Chinese just crack me up. But so I'm looking at all these European polls about Joe Biden, and they're asking people in Europe, do you think Biden is better than Trump? Biden is like losing, like it's horrible. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, it's like 70
things are
20.
things are so bad. They're actually saying good things about Trump and over in Europe, man. Like Merkel and all these people are like, hey,
Well, I knew we were going to be doing this show tonight. So the last 4 nights, I've actually watched the news. I've watched the national news, and then I watched the crazy NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox shit. So first off, none of the major networks, with the exception of Fox, even talked about Joe Biden. I'm not kidding you. I did not even hear a story on NBC about Biden. I heard a story about this idiot, that moron. Oh, I heard the story about the 60 ships sitting off the coast in California 5 different times on 3 different networks, multiple times over 2 days. I'm like, really? News must be really, really slow. Or Biden's doing something really, really stupid because it's horrible.
well, they're passing these spending plans, man, and it's trillions of dollars just
So
stolen out of your pocket, given to no one who's going to help us. Put it that way.
well, see, that's another problem. So all of a sudden, Biden comes in with a bang. He's doing all this. He's throwing Trump stuff out. He's saying, "I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Do this." So McConnell threw him a boner today and said, "Look, I'll give you some money till mid-January. I mean, mid-December, and then we'll have to talk about it." So they're going to get that done, and now some of the people who originally voted for 1.5 trillion are thinking about rescinding their vote. So they're going to have to go. Nancy's going to have to pass it now, or it's going to go away. and the 3.5 trillion is dead. It's not going anywhere. It's dead. So they got to come up with new figures. Munchin, I don't know what Schumer said. I haven't heard it yet, but Munchin went after Schumer like he had done his wife or something, buddy. I mean, it was horrible the way this guy went after him. And not that I like Schumer or anything, because I think he's a moron too. But first off, how we need to really, really, really reconsider how long we let people stay in office. Maybe there should be a break period.
Term limits.
Wait. Some guys you might want to keep here, so maybe there should be a break period. So you can run for the Senate twice. That's 12 years. Okay, then you got to take at least an 8-year break, or go run for the House, but you can't run back.
No, I don't want any old fogies, man. You know what? Nothing gold can stay, even if they're good in there. They're not. They're only good for a while. There's only a half life.
No, because some of our best presidents have been in the
Who?
Late 70s. Hey, who you got? You got Reagan. He did good, man. We all love Reagan. We love Reagan like he's the second coming or something.
God.
I mean, come on. He's the only president in recent times that left with 80% approval.
Look at the Apple man, the son, the ballet.
So you can't say Kennedy,
that.
because Kennedy was insane. I mean, he was just, I don't know what he was up to. He wanted to go get in the war. That's why he killed his ass. And Clinton was okay. Now Clinton was young. He was 50. He was a decent guy. He did okay. Obama sucked. Bush Jr. sucked. I'm not sure which one of the two. I think they sucked.
You know
equally.
what? They are is just facemen. It doesn't matter who's in. They all do the same thing.
It does. No, it does, because you can see it matters. Because Biden,
one thing for sure, they all really hated Trump, so he must have been doing something right.
Oh yeah, that's why they hated him. Well, you know that, but look, let's go back. Wait, I heard. Hold on, let me go find the screen again. I got lost. Oh, yeah, there he is. Hey Jay, what you doing? Everybody, Jay McNicholas joining in with us.
What's happening?
So this is how you can prove that the president does have some control. So everybody and their mama didn't want Biden leaving Afghanistan. I didn't know how bad until just recently, when I started hearing all the reports. And you know what Biden did? He gave him the finger, said, "I'm the commander in chief, and you're going to do what the hell I said." And they did what the hell he said. And he said, "I was leaving on the 31st," and he meant it. He didn't give a shit who got left behind. He left. It proved that he could. I told you in the beginning, Biden has got this. I don't know. He must have had a crush on Obama or something. Or Obama broke his heart or something, because he has this need to prove to Obama that he's the better guy. Maybe it's a white-black thing. I don't know. I'm not judging, because I really don't know.
Racist.
And they both are racist. You can't say both them guys are racist. It's just, right now, and I'm watching. I got to say, somebody asked me the other day if Trump runs, am I going to vote for him? I said, I don't know. I didn't vote for him either other time. I said, but maybe. I said, maybe third time is a charm or something. I said, but I got to say, I'm enjoying watching the Democrats squirm, because they're feared, because I already know how this is going to work. Trump's going to say, well, I did the gas independence. Everybody was paying less than $1, $20, $30, $40 for gas, not $3, $4. I mean, I filled up my Camry today. It cost me $45. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? That's like filling up my pickup truck. I'm like, no, this is bullshit. And then, food's up 14%. We got stuff that's up 50 and 60%. It's just a nightmare. And then of course, COVID, Trump's going to say, well, you said you were going to get rid of COVID. You just made it worse.
Look at the fuel crisis in the UK. And what's happening there, man? I mean, it's a crisis, real crisis with food and whatever, because they couldn't get drivers for the most part to drive the fuel. But there's so many other things that are involved. But man, it's all over, Well, yeah, Biden, he's no leader. Never thought he was going to be one.
But he's got, that's scary. He's got control. He does, when he has lucid moments where he's running things.
I want Elon Musk. I think he should just buy the presidency.
I don't want Elon Musk running it either.
Put his label on the side of the White House.
I hate to say this. I love Elon Musk to death. And Elon, if you're listening, I know you love our show. I know you voted for our science show, so thank you. But I got to say, dude, I'm scared if you got control of the United States that there'd be swift and rapid change. And I'm not sure all of it would be to the best of mankind.
Well, and also, if you recall back in the 80s, Ross Perot, when he tried to run, he was one of those billionaires that tried to buy into the office. And he was such a flip-flopper. He's, I'm in the race. I'm out of the race. I'm in. I'm out. I'm in. I'm out. And then finally, he, at the last minute, when you had the last chance to say I'm in, he said I'm in. And he basically foobarred the entire election. And I forget the guy's name, the guy that held the pen all the time. He lost the election for that gentleman.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole. That's the guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, sometimes the independent makes a difference, and right now, like we're gonna get in that in a little while, but like right now, if you see the independent polls for Biden, they're bad, 33, 32, 31, they're bad. I mean,
But what does it matter? It's like ratings for a TV channel. Nobody cares anymore.
but
Why
they
does it
care.
matter?
They care because in 2022, it's going to cost them the House and the Senate. That's
The
why they
three of
care.
us right here, we can't do a goddamn thing about any of it. We just
Oh
have to
yeah, we
learn how
can.
to
What
how
are
to
you
work
talking about,
work
man?
within the
Oh my
machine. And the
God!
machine is built to destroy. It sucks
So
people up and
no,
spits them out, man.
you have to learn. You plant a seed and you watch it grow. You plant a seed
Mhm.
and you watch it
All
grow. You
right,
plant a
forget
seed and
seeds.
you watch
I
it grow.
want to talk about that dream. Now, this is several weeks later. I said 3 huge volcanoes were going to blow, and I was going to end up dating the Queen of England, and she had a funny ass sense of
Oh
humor,
my
you know.
God, he's on
So all of
crack,
a
man.
sudden, I'm watching one volcano going. Now there's another one going. Now there's another one. The third one was going to be in the continental U.S. and it was going to be devastating. So how I'm going to get to England and meet the Queen, I don't know. I'm leaving it up to you guys.
You know,
Because I'll invite you to the parties. You know
oh,
what I
man,
mean?
I'm
You
not
know
even
that
touching that
queen.
one with a 10-foot pole.
You know the queen
It's
likes to
a
party. She's single.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, she's a sweetie. I met her on board the
I'm just
mothership one
saying
time.
for laughs, not even for like dating purposes. I'm
Maybe
just
that's
saying.
how it'll happen.
But
Maybe she'll have you beamed
it
up.
wasn't me. It was the dream because I would never think about dating some
Hmm
100
Yeah.
year old human being.
I don't know. She get the queen jewels, she might.
She's got
But
some money. She got
yeah,
some money,
but
Mike.
She
but you
got the
see now
dosh,
now
man.
that this was great the other day. So I'm listening to this one newscast. This guy's insane, and so they're talking about the four countries that are just alike. Okay.
Who?
Now, if my Australian friends are listening to this, and my
Oh,
British friends are listening to this, and my Canadian friends don't get offended, I'm not the one who said this. So they said that, oh well, Canada is just like a little mini California. I was like, mini California.
what?
It's the second biggest country on the planet. Now, granted, wise population wise, it's smaller
Have
than
you ever been to
California.
California?
Yeah, I've been to California several times.
You ever been to Canada?
Yeah, I've been to
Yes.
Lower
It ain't
Canada. Yeah.
nothing like California.
No, they're talking people wise.
No, not
Uh,
even the people.
so they're
Even the
saying
pop. I mean, California. I mean, Canada doesn't have a big population. Was it 30 million?
no,
31,
they're like 36, 37 now, but
31, 32.
they're actually I think they might pass up Cali because Cali's going down right now. I think they're down. They were at 38 million. I think they're down like 36
It's an
now.
exodus, man. They can't afford to
Yeah.
live there anymore.
Well, they're going to Texas, and they're all at least they're all moving to Austin.
They're
Austin's
going
going
to
to be huge.
Colorado. They're going to Nevada. They're going
Austin's
to
going to be like
Arizona.
the state of New
And
York.
Texas, Elon Musk pulled the company out, and he's moving it to Texas.
Oh yeah, Texas is a place to be right now, man. He got money. That's the way it place to be. Texas is it. It's its own little country
His
too.
gigafactory, right?
Yeah, no, he actually well, one of the reasons they're going to Texas too. Most people don't realize it, but the space, it's not the platform. What they call it, the space
Houston.
dock, is in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So that's where they're going to start coming back and forth to. Once this starts becoming regular, they've actually built two of these now, and so they're going to have landing places in the U.S. like airports, but they'll be spaceports. They've already bought the land. Well, actually, one of them's almost already completed. So they're serious about this. Most people think that these billionaires are playing. They're not. These billionaires are fixing to take the human race to space, and they're going to take it to a big way. They're not playing anymore. You'll start seeing these ships being produced in mass amounts, and you'll see just as many spaceships going up as you see airplanes flying.
Like an infectious disease leaving its host, spreading out amongst the stars.
That's us. That's a human race.
That's us. Well, but
you
the
know-
other thing about that is that all those rich guys that are doing like Elon Musk and Bezos and all, and is I don't know if Zuckerberg's involved yet, but those three big guys they're so rich that they have enough money to fight the government on sending us up.
Well, and bad part is, it looks like the government's on their side because it was either genocide or it kicks some people off the planet. This works better.
Would you guys go up if you had the opportunity?
I'd be going to Mars. It's I'd love to go hopping around on Mars and do some space hopping.
Blast off in a rocket or like their space elevator they've been talking about?
Well, no, they've got a
Elevator
couple of
ain't gonna
nice
work.
ships. Yeah, not yet. They don't. It'll be another decade, maybe two for the space, maybe even longer than that. They got some issues with the space elevators. One, keeping them stable.
Yeah.
How to transport things at a relatively fast speed. Because, I mean, you're talking, it's going way up there. Excuse my
You're
language.
talking 9, 10, 12 miles.
I mean, it's going
too
way
large
up there.
to
So.
be popular or be effective.
And
But
then-
the other thing that's really cool, I don't know if you guys seen this that went across Facebook. Captain Kirk is actually going to go into outer
Oh yeah,
space.
I see him. Yeah, he's
William
the
Shatner's
oldest
confirmed
person
to be
to ever
shot
go
in
into space too.
Yeah, he's
Oldest
pushing
man.
90.
He's gonna be up there in space, going, yeah.
He should bring
some little young
some
girl.
girl, yeah, man.
Yeah, you know he is.
Bring a
Some
green
old
skin girl with him.
Not the Queen of England. She's mine. Oh, mine.
Kaylee Cuoco, whoever her name is, who took over his job. She loved him. He said,
Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah, that was an interesting duo right there. But William Shatner's interesting. He's a Canuck, man. See, you can't be hating. He's a Canuck.
He's a dentist.
He's a dentist.
He's got his fingers in everything. There's not a thing he hasn't done.
How
except go into space. It's coming out.
I mean, this guy definitely believes in I'm gonna live until I die. He's just one of them kind of guys. One day we'll just all hear he's gone, and they'll probably shoot his remains into space, and that'll be the end of that.
I'll guarantee you right now. I'm going to say this right now on your show, Joe. He's going to be the last actor from the Star Trek original series to pass away because he
you know what? You might be right.
Guys.
Well, what we see, we've lost Scotty, we've lost McCoy, we've lost
Spock.
And
Gracie Lee Whitney's gone.
Who's
almost gone. The creator.
You know what's funny about William Shatner? That story about his ex-wife dying in the pool and how he knew nothing about it, like all this weird. There's a lot of weirdness that just does. No one even talks about that anymore. Like not even a word.
Because he's Kirk, buddy.
They don't. Yeah, you're right.
They were going through a horrible divorce. And she was an Olympic swimmer, and she was found dead. And the pool had one of those liners on it, like she died in the pool with the liner on top of it. Weird, man.
If I'm not mistaken, also they found like pills or drugs either in her drink or near her drink, but I don't think they found any in her system at the autopsy. So it was a really strange occurrence.
I am Captain Kirk. Do not question me.
This was the same time. Remember that guy Beretta? And then he had killed. I guess he actually got convicted. He had killed his ex. Like weird stuff going on there. I don't know.
Nobody's convicting Kirk. He's too old anyway at this point.
Yeah. He's pushing 90. He's going to go up in outer space. And I'll tell you this. I forget which one. I think it's Elon Musk who's sending him up. If he doesn't survive the launch, Elon Musk will be murdered by millions of Star Trek fans.
I know. It's I know.
No, people would be all happy. They'd be like, "Look, he died going into space." It's like all romantic and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it is.
Depends on whether you die in space or on the way up. So
depends on how you want to die. I got my eye on that volcano right now, man. If it will save me from dating the Queen of England.
I think Michael's talking about them drinks called the volcano. I think that's what the hell's going on.
Well, the good thing about dying by a volcano is there's a brilliant flash of light, a brief bit of pain, and poof, you're a pile of ash.
Yeah, you're out. You're done. Probably ain't even no pain. It happens so fast, probably don't even feel it.
Yeah, probably not.
So this is two of Michael's favorite fellas here. Joe Manchin and of course Schumer. So now I'm watching this. They said Joe Manchin. So while Schumer's going off on the Republicans today, they said Schumer just put his hand, Manchin just put his hands in his face in his hands and just started shaking his head like, "What are you, a moron?" So this just tells you how the Democrats work. So now, this people, I know a lot of y'all don't understand this. I'm going to go a little bit slow on this. So when they do reconciliation, they can only do so many per term, and that's 2 years. That's for the House. So right now they're teetering. So if the GOP forces them into doing the budget that way, then they can't try to do this $3 trillion thing. It's done and over with. They'll have to have the Republicans help them out. And of course, we all know hell will freeze over before that happens. So it's interesting how this game's going to play out. They're the ones on the hot seat. The Republicans are fine. They're doing good. Their numbers are going up all over the place. Trump's right now. So they asked independents, "Do you wish you voted for Trump?" 76% said yes. So, they're in deep shit. I don't even know what to tell them. Even amongst Democrats, his numbers are falling. And Democrats, I got to say something right while I'm thinking about this. So I seen a CNN poll, which is, skeptical, but 86% of Democrats support Joe Biden. Now, look, you cannot be telling me that's true. I mean, come on. You hated on Trump because he did stupid shit. I mean, come on. He ain't got nothing on this guy. I mean, just Afghanistan's enough to make us all want to put our head and bury it in the sand. We don't want to talk about gas prices. Everybody's seen the unemployment numbers today. I mean, it's just pathetic. COVID's rampant all over the country, and it's his fault because he left the southern border open and let 2 million illegals in that we found out now that at least 30% had COVID.
They distributed those guys all over the country.
4,000 or 5,000 in each city. I mean, they just basically spread it around for themselves. I mean, and he's responsible for that. I
So
mean,
what were the unemployment numbers? I didn't see that. I don't have
oh,
local
it was
news anymore.
the unemployment. I think it's still holding at 4.8%. It was only
Wow.
194,000 jobs created. They were expecting like 384. So I mean, it was way down.
Almost like Obama's numbers. I mean, I
Yeah.
think Obama had it shoot up to like 9 or 11 at one point. Then it went right back down to 3.8.
You know, this I used to say this all the time. I really think the president should be a dual job. And what I mean by that is because, like, Trump was good at certain things. Biden can actually balance other things out. Because you could actually have two presidents, one handling this, one handling that, and it would work actually better. Because right now you get, I mean, Joe just don't know what he's doing on anything. You know, somebody said the other day he was a mediocre senator. When you look at his legislature, he was. And now he's president because he was Obama's VP, and Obama didn't even like the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and that wasn't even. Everybody's like, "Oh, it was a secret." No, it wasn't. Obama was quite open about he didn't like the guy. He thought he was an old white cracker, and I hate to agree
whole
with
thing's a
Obama,
joke.
but he was.
I want to talk about how kinky the Germans are, man. That's a way
They
better
were pretty
conversation.
kinky. They're not as bad as the
It's
Japanese,
not
though.
news.
Oh, the Japanese take the cake for kinkies.
Yeah.
But that ain't
But
news either. We all know that.
what you're saying, Joe, about Biden being, mediocre and having, similar numbers to Obama, they said the same thing about Obama as being a great senator. How long was he in senatorship for? 6 months, 8 months, and then
6
he quit?
months.
Yeah,
He was a junior senator. He wasn't
junior at that. Yeah,
I mean, technically, the man haven't even been put through his paces yet. And
right.
well,
And
we're
everyone
going
said
to
he was a great senator. No, he wasn't. He quit the job
fit-
6 months in.
He
So
fit
we
the
took
suit.
We took a community
the suit,
organizer, okay, a community organizer. That would be like taking one of the three of us and making us president. And there's no difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you now, I'd F things all over here because the first thing I'd say is, Putin, get your shit away from my country. Guess what? And I go say, Xi Jinping, stop screwing around with Taiwan, because if you don't, it's going to be raining these pretty little red bullets on your head. And all of a sudden, you're going to go from 1.3 billion to 200 million. Stop it. It's that's the only
I'm
thing
not
they
sure
respect.
if you can delegate foreign affairs like that.
I most certainly can, buddy. I was president of
threatening.
fucking damn United States of America, and you're gonna do what the hell I tell you. I'm gonna nuke you off the damn planet.
No, you don't know how to do it, man. See, you end up killing innocent people. This is how
Ain't
you
nobody
do it.
innocent.
You
Ain't nobody innocent
call
on this
Kim
planet.
Jong Un. Hey Kim, how you doing?
Jong-un.
I am okay. Oh yeah, you in your house, the big mansion up on the hill. Yeah, hold on a minute, and then boom, mansion gone. Kim Jong-un gone. You don't kill all the innocent people. You get rid of the palace. You blow them up in that palace, man. And we're going to blow up every leader you put forward until we find one that we like. And it's that simple. We're not killing the people. We're not killing the industry. We're just blowing up the palace.
So while we're in this
And the
area,
Pope. And the Pope.
while we're in this
Forget
area of the
about
world,
the Pope.
we're going to go back to Munchkin and Schumer in a minute. But
Where are you, Pope? Oh, you're in your throne?
Yeah. So, since we're on this area, so let's go take care of this. So, there's been reports from the British newspaper and the EU papers that there's an internal fight inside the Chinese leadership. That's one of the reasons they keep buzzing Taiwan. There's some kind of internal squabble, I guess. They're crashing. The World Bank told China they're going to foreclose on their loans if they don't do something. China's already basically throwing their contractors to the wind. They're not even paying them. So they're in deep shit. So, all that shit that Trump did finally paid off. And so they don't know what they're going to do. So for them, the best thing to do is to go over and take over Taiwan, take over all their industries and boost their economy, because Taiwan's got some pretty good deals.
If you know the internal affairs of China right now, and this is happening for quite a while, and it's getting worse and worse, they've stopped paying all the veterans, the ones who were in these armies. I mean, they laid off hundreds and thousands of them, stopped giving them any money at all. So now you have this big crew, and they've organized, so they're very angry. They want the money. Then they took the soldiers that are there and cut their pay in half, so they can't even pay their bills, man. They can't even support their families. So there's dissension in the ranks that can be coaxed into something interesting, I think. Me as a rabble rouser and a class clown.
Well, I'm just saying that right now, I mean, this is dangerous business, because all the papers coming out of China are saying that our president won't do anything.
You were just threatening them with nuclear meltdown.
I was, but I don't have the keys. Okay,
we don't have the key.
So they're safe for me.
My
I don't
plan's
have no
different.
keys. But I'm just saying, no, because this is actually real where we are right now. So, they're buzzing Taiwan daily. I mean, they flew 128 flights in the last 4 days. So,
Yep.
a lot of Europe's getting nervous that they may invade. Well, if Trump was president, he would not allow China to invade. Neither, I don't even think Obama would. But I don't know what Biden's going to do. The papers, both from the Kremlin, or I should say from propaganda, what's it called, Pravda, and the ones in China, are both saying that Biden's weak and he won't do anything. He's
Mhm.
scared of both of them, and so he won't do anything. Well, what they're not understanding, which bothers me, that they're that ignorant, is Europe will. And if Europe does, we don't have no choice. We have to get involved because if Britain goes and kicks somebody's ass, well, guess what? They're a protector of the United States. It's more than a mutual protection pact. They're technically a protectorate. That means no matter what, he has to go. His generals will come unglued on his ass. They will be like, no, dude, there'll be insurrection right then and there. So it just bothers me that Xi Jinping might be following that kind of advice, because if he does, he may try to start a war without even really
If
trying to start
China
one.
was confident that they could take Taiwan and keep it, and not just consider a state of China, but like a whole
Yeah,
oneness, they would. They won't do it because they know that there's other forces out there that would step in and stop them. So it's a chess game, right? And then you have to be able to think, well, what are they willing to I mean, like, think about this, right? Look at North Korea. You push into North Korea, then you have all these borders with not just China but also Russia, right? It's a very interesting piece of land. I don't know about if you guys ever played Risk, but in the game of Risk, it often ended up in those places, especially the Middle East, where you had the big battles. But there's a way of negotiation. But Joe Biden can't handle that. He has no foreign affairs people. His people are all just they're all psychopaths, man. Think about it. These are like just political hacks that have always been in there and never solved any freaking problem, never. So yeah,
I think there ought to be, and I kind of agree with you on that. I think a lot of our politicians are insane or mad or just power hungry, whatever it is. There ought to be, I almost became a policeman, and to become a policeman, once you get past certain obstacles, applications and tests and all that, before they even put a badge on your shirt, you have to have a complete psychological evaluation to make sure you're right for the job. And I think every politician should also have that same evaluation.
I think
yeah,
they should all take truth serum before they go into
That too
Congress.
would help.
I think put it in
yeah.
their
Well,
water.
yeah, it's not. It's not. Well, what bothers me is all their health issues. The psych evaluation should be made public. President at risk of blowing up world. Okay, he don't need to be president. We retract our votes now. It's because he's. I love those promos, those memes they got up with him with the baby keys. They gave him the baby keys instead of the new keys. I love it. I'm like, yeah, it's but I don't know what to do with this guy. I mean, every time I look at
He's
him, he's doing something stupid again.
he's ineffective. Other countries are watching. You think that Xi Jinping and Putin are sitting there watching everything this idiot does? And they know that he's weaker than baby poop. That's why. That's why they're throwing things at the wall to see if they'll stick. That's why they're pushing into certain areas. Watch Putin start pushing into Georgia and places like that. That's next on the plate. There's going to be so much stuff going on. Biden won't be able to handle that. That tough guy image of this frail old man that doesn't even know where the hell he is. It's not going to hold water in a world theater.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do something because
Yeah, they
China
are.
can
They're
take.
setting the stage for a Republican
Well,
takeover,
yeah,
and
they
it's
are.
going to be huge.
It is going to be huge, but they still need to worry about China and all of this, because if China invades Taiwan, they can take Taiwan like we took Iraq in a matter of days. It's
Oh yeah,
they're not holding it. It's a whole different thing, especially if the Brits and the Europeans and America gets involved. You can't hold it. Then there's no way for you to keep it, because instantly we've already cut off your supply lines. No more military stuff. No more food. No more a lot of stuff. You just became like Russia, where you can't even get a loaf of bread and any cheese. So it's just, and they got 1,300,000,000 people to feed. See, that's what Japan did. Japan cut their supply lines off, so the soldiers were surrendering their guns for a bowl of rice. That's how Japan conquered them, and that's what will happen here, because everybody will cut them off, and they'll be like, there won't be any more money, because without America and Europe buying their goods, they're bankrupt anyway. They'll have to. That's what's happening because of COVID. America's cut off a lot of buying from China itself, not from Asia, but from China. And so has the Europeans. They're like, you know what? You tried to kill us. We don't really want to buy your product. And I think deep down for a lot of people, when I've seen a survey on this, they feel like there could be COVID in whatever they're sending over to you. Unfortunately, a lot of people think this was intentional, not fake. So,
well, we talked about this before on your show. Isn't there also some markers in the COVID virus that indicates that it's laboratory genetically changed from
yeah,
these
the
original?
WHO came out and said that, and then they immediately retracted it and said they made
You know
a
what?
mistake.
Screw Pete Townsend. That's all that I'm saying.
Leave
You know
Pete
what
out
I
of
mean?
this, man. He ain't doing
Like he
nothing.
knows anything about viruses. Roger
He does.
Daltrey.
He
Come
probably
on, man.
does. He probably knows something.
Yeah,
You bet.
maybe VD.
That's what I was going to say. He probably knows something. I mean, just
A little
he
bit of
probably knows more
syphilis.
about stuff than you want to know about. Let's
Little
be
touch
honest.
of herpes.
They Chuck Schumer wants to be governor of New York.
When?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, we got to talk about this. Okay, I got to go find this clip. I'm
Oh
gonna look
my
for it in a
God.
minute. So
Is
I'm gonna
that
go
guy
hunt
the
this.
real life Joker or what?
I
Have
don't
you
know
ever
what he
looked
is,
at
man.
his face? Like really looked at him?
He's cracked out, dude.
He's
I'm
the
telling you.
real life Joker, man.
But if you pay attention, he's got them blue eyes. So we've talked about this before. We're not gonna get into tonight, but
Pure
it's
political power.
But no, we need to talk about your dumbass governor. She's
Who?
your governor. She ain't my governor. She
Ryan, I'm
ain't.
in Pennsylvania.
That's
The
your
one in New
dumbass
York with
governor.
the
The
girl
one
with the
that's
crazy eyes.
no, yeah, you're crazy.
I'm a
She's not.
nomad. I'm a
No,
no. I
dude.
don't have a.
So I'm gonna
I
see
don't
if I
have
can
anything
find this
anymore.
clip. While we're talking, I'm gonna see if I can find this clip. So I caught this by accident. This story. So she goes to a Christian dinner the other day and invokes God. God created the science to create the vaccines to save our lives.
Who said
And
this?
your governor. And then she says, y'all are my apostles and you need to go out and spread my word.
You mean the
I'm
crazy one?
like, wait a minute. First off, that's not separation of church and state. She's already in trouble. She should be losing her job over that.
Just look
alone.
at her eyes, dude. She's
Dude,
freaking nuts.
But she went into this religious rant for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, I believe it.
And how it's going to save us. I was like, wow, she should step down. I mean, they should just let Como come back, and he wasn't.
This is the same woman that sat by when all those people were dying. She knew what was going on, and she knew about Cuomo's activities, lewd activity with girls, all the other stuff. That's these political hacks. They just sit there and say nothing until they get caught or somebody gets caught, and all of a sudden I didn't know. I had no idea. Wow, yeah, you want a lieutenant governor that didn't know what was going on in the government. Great.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Another reason to get the hell out of New York, man.
She's just a whack. I'll find the story, but I want to find the clip. Is this it? No, this is something
Dude,
else.
Louisiana doesn't have good ones either. Don't even start.
We don't even go there, man.
And how do you want to start with Pennsylvania?
Oh my God. Look. I mean,
isn't the head of the that he mail whatever from the health department that was in Pennsylvania? It's like in Bush in Biden's cabinet.
There have been some. Fortunately for Louisiana, most of the politicians are going to be GOP. So
dude, I had no idea. Like in my 4 o'clock in the morning mind, I was watching the news one time, and that dude was on there, and I was like, and this was the head of the health department in Pennsylvania. I'm like, oh my God! I'm like, there's got to be. I wasn't being mean. It was just my own brain attacking itself. I was just got to be better looking people that you can make it the head of the health department. I had no idea it was a dude who was a transvestite. And the last person I thought was a transvestite wasn't, and I got in big trouble. So.
Well, on some transvestite news, she was suing because they wouldn't wax her genitalia, and she sued the waxing people because they wouldn't do it. I guess the judge sided with the waxing company. Like,
that's a funky business to begin with, man. You have to have a certain mentality to do that.
Yeah, you like to give pain. You should probably a mistress daylight.
Well, you got to look at all kinds of stuff nobody wants to see. But genitals aren't the most beautiful thing in the world.
They really aren't. Some of them.
Let's see. Is this it? Somewhere along here, I keep finding her picture with her going off, and everybody's hating on her. They got all kind of lawyers talking about her.
So that's what New York needs, man. Another freak. You know what? Bad enough when Spitzer had to resign because of his sexual affairs with prostitutes. You know what I mean? And he resigned as governor. You had that Patterson get in there. the blind guy, and he didn't know what to do. I mean, everything with him was a fee or a tax or something, and the guy just didn't have any leadership skills or ability. I'll give Cuomo, though, that edge. He did have leadership skills and ability. Sinister as it was, I still don't like him. He's creepy and freaky, man. He's a scary dude. He's the guy you don't want to meet in an alleyway in like Bangkok. You know what I mean? Those flaring nostrils and him all like, ah. That's you. You're freaking me out. Freaking me out, dude.
Not to weird people.
Stop it. Stop it.
It's not to be weird people.
Well, imagine the girls that he grabbed. And you know what? In my investigative research, they all look like his daughters, man.
Okay, I don't know about all of that.
Yeah, no, they actually do. They all the ones who came forward saying he tried all this crap with them, they all look like his 3 daughters, man. I'm just saying. That was just an interesting tidbit.
No, that's just some weirdo screwed up SOB there.
I'm not alleging anything.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
saying
I'm just saying he's a screwed up SOB. If that's how
he left his dog behind in the mansion, man.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hold on. We're gonna play this right
What kind
quick.
of dude leaves his dog behind?
Let me make sure I get this set up right. Hold on. I don't know. It's the same kind of people that tell you to eat your dog.
Yeah.
There was a show we were doing, and Jason was on, and one of the ladies, she's a very famous ufologist, and she said, "Well, at the end of the time, you should just eat your dog." I'm thinking, first off, I'm not eating my dog because he's a little skinny rat thing.
Is that what happened to her husband?
I don't know, but I tell you what, my dog would sneak food out anywhere, so I'm keeping my dog around. She'll find food long before I do.
Yeah, it's the woman. Like, what happened to your husband, by the way?
Yeah, I ate my husband.
Well, it's called long pig.
Yes, people get so weird about that. Okay, let me try this again. So share screen.
Yeah, there are cannibals that live on the planet, man. There people live in loincloths. They don't know about toilet paper or technology.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see how this is going to play.
So how evolved are we really?
All right,
Kind of devolved, actually, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I'll take a loincloth.
And what we went through this pandemic made us stronger. I believe that, especially when I talk to young people who weren't able to have their graduations from high school or a normal life for the last 18 months. I say to them, whatever comes your way in life, you are stronger. You are more resilient. God let you survive this pandemic because he wants you to do great things someday. He let you live through this when so many other people did not. And that is also your responsibility. But how do we keep more people alive? We are not through this pandemic. I wished we were, but I prayed a lot to God during this time.
Oh, my God.
You know what?
I know.
God did answer our prayers.
I was waiting for lightning to
He
strike
made
her.
the smartest men and women, the scientists, the doctors, the researchers. He made them come up with a vaccine. That is from God to us.
Mm-hmm.
And we must say, thank you, God. Thank you. And I wear my vaccinated necklace all the time to say, I'm vaccinated.
Anything to do with this
All
vaccine.
of you. Yes, I know you're vaccinated. You're the smart ones. But you know there's people out there who aren't listening to God and what God wants.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. You know who they are. I need you to be my apostle.
Yeah,
I need you to go out and talk about it and say, we owe this to each other. We love each other. Jesus taught us to love one another.
So all the people that died
How do you
just
show
suck,
that love?
right?
But to care about
And they
each other enough
deserve
to
to
say,
live
please get
like
vaccinated
her
because I
or
love
anybody
you. I
else.
want you to
Well, yeah,
live.
she's got about-
I want our kids to be safe when they're in
she's got about
schools.
30
I want you to be
seconds left.
safe when you go to a doctor's office
Not
or to a
that.
hospital and are treated by somebody. You don't want to get the virus from them. You're already sick or you wouldn't be there. We have to solve this, my friends. I need every one of you. I need you to let them know that this is how we can fight this pandemic, come back to normal, and then start talking about the real issues that we have to. Fighting systemic racial injustice, which exists today. And if there's a denier, I will take you on any day because I've seen it. I know it exists. And we are not going to have a blind eye to this ever again, any longer under my watch. And that is my
I can't even
statement to you.
listen to her anymore, man.
Yeah, no, she's off. She's
Her voice is
Well, wait, you
freaking
didn't even get
horrible.
to hear the good part when she was telling everybody to go out and be my disciples.
Ain't no good part there. She's a psycho.
But she was
how do we
telling
keep
everybody.
that kind of person out of an elected office? I
Well,
mean,
actually,
God
she
did not
should be
do any of the
removed.
stuff she said God did. I'm sorry.
She got
you
in
can't,
from
you can't do
default.
it under the. Well, you're supposed to under the political thing. You're supposed to separate your.
Well,
church
obviously,
from your
someone's
state.
going to run against her and
Separation
win.
of church and state. Absolutely.
Yeah, she's an idiot. There's a dozen articles
Hillary will
on
run.
lawyers.
She'll be the governor of New York.
Oh no,
She'll take
Hillary.
it if it's that easy.
Somebody told me Hillary can't even. Hillary's got to feed herself now and wear diapers. I don't think we're going to see Hillary anymore. I think Well,
back to that German kinkiness, Joe?
I'm just saying, the woman's a mess. And they always talk about Bill, what he's running around with. I'm like, Bill, I said, yeah, he's running around with a cane, is what he's running around with. But
listen, that guy could be as old as he is and still like girls and be around and have some fun. God bless him, man. You know what I mean? As long as he's like, I hear the one that he's with, it's like an honest relationship. They call her the Energizer Bunny. That's what the Secret Service named her. And she comes around when Hillary leaves the house.
God, I told you to get vaccinated. I wonder if Hillary would go along with that. God told you to go get vaccinated.
Hillary, you know what? She's plotting and planning. Don't think she isn't, man.
No, I don't know what she's doing.
She's down in her lair somewhere with
she can't figure out why she can't kill Trump off.
She's got Huma.
So
she's gonna be sitting there laughing with that cackle.
Oh God.
Well, so it's funny if you read these articles about New York's health system right now. So one says, "Oh well, because of the mandate, tens of thousands of nurses and doctors went and got vaccinated, got their first jab this week." And if you go to the other website, it says 83,000 doctors and nurses are leaving New York and seeking employment in the South. You also heard that about Chicago. You also heard that about. It's not just that; they got people coming in from Canada.
They can get a job at Penny's Pig Pit in
Atlanta, we're
Georgia.
We're building one of the biggest hospital things in the world on Tulane Avenue, which is massive. The damn thing's like 2 miles long, and they need help, and they're going to take all of these people. They're going to come down here and make more money, not have to be involved with that. The only thing they have to worry about is hurricanes and going about their lives. And New York will be shut.
There's a real crisis in healthcare, man. It's like an actual crisis.
Well, the governor already said your governor said she's going to bring in National Guard to replace the things.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Isn't there National Guards coming into New York and to take over all those positions that they just fired everybody?
Yeah, I'm really not feeling comfortable with the National Guard giving out shots.
It's almost like martial law, isn't it? I mean, it's pretty close.
It is. It's well, you're going to get the shot, or we're going to stick an M16 somewhere.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. And anytime somebody says you have to, and then what? Okay, so I listened to a Native American. They say, well, I don't have to get a vaccine. Technically, Native Americans aren't even part of the United States.
It's their own. They're their own nation.
Yeah, their own nation, our own nations. But it's so they don't have to get a jab. But now we're telling them they have to too. Well, you got to get a jab. We don't care. You live in our country. No, I live in my country.
With our history and with Native Americans giving them blankets filled with smallpox and other viruses to kill them off. You think they're actually going to do that? I wouldn't if I was Native American. I'd be like,
I wouldn't either.
Screw you! No way.
And a lot of them. Oh, look, they got her whole thing transcribed for everybody to read because the guy's saying about how horrible it is. It's I've just never. I've been dealing in politics a long time. I have never heard a freaking politic invoke God before to get anything done. They usually stay away from that. Mm-hmm. And it's usually taboo.
It sounded like one of those Olstein type of people, man. Creflo $1, that Benny Hinn, give me your money.
Well, you heard the weak applause she got by invoking God. It wasn't a standing ovation for sure.
No, she got a small clap. Because a lot of people are like,
she will not impress New York with Jesus talk. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and they'll use that against her.
And you know damn well that
because it was Jesus, Mike. It was Jesus that invented the New York pizza, right?
Yeah.
Because she was.
Pizza. But when you Jesus put cheeses on there, man.
I know. But when you listen to her whole thing, she's saying she's Jesus. That's what you got to listen to because when
St. Mark's
the whole
Pizza.
Thing, she's saying
Come on,
she's
man,
Jesus.
it's the best in New York City.
I don't know. They might vote her in if she thinks she's Jesus. New Yorkers like crazy people.
Can she walk on water though?
Do you understand New York, Joe?
I'm just y'all. Do you understand that? And y'all like effed up.
A lot of people in New York regard Jesus as the best Jew on the block, man. You know what I mean? Like, and they say if you want to worship a Jew, go ahead. That's my sister's favorite tagline. She's Jewish, man. She tells Christians, if you want to worship a Jew, go ahead.
I mean, you had what's his name? Your last governor, he was a Catholic.
Who?
Como.
Oh,
Homo
Como.
como, yeah, homo
Yeah,
como.
but he didn't stick it in people's faces like that. You never hear him
No,
talk about
he stuck other things in
religion.
people's
You never
faces.
heard Como.
He was a true Catholic. I'm sorry, I
You
couldn't
never hear
resist
him
that.
talk about religion. But this woman went off the. She went off
No,
the
she
deep
went off
end.
the rails. She just should have never went there. She just should not have. Jenny, you know what? I'm gonna go find in polls. I just had to talk about this governor. I hate to hate on anybody's governor because Louisiana has had some. We've had some crooked, no good SOBs as governors in our state. I mean, one of them finally just got out of jail with his 26-year-old wife. He's like 90. I'm like, look, dude, you're
It's a
insane.
popularity contest driven by the Church of Mammoth, man. All about money, money, and power. That's all that is ever going to be.
Let's see.
It's a culture of corruption, man.
So
they want to get corruption out of the government. The government is corruption, isn't it? I mean, look, why is there poverty? Then why are there poor people? Why do people suffer so much? There's a whole bunch of things that we can fix.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Really?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. The Democrats
you don't have any
are talking
leverage,
about.
Do you?
The Democrats are talking about taking away a lot of welfare. I was stunned when they said that.
Yeah,
I was stunned when they said it because Republicans always want to do it, but I was stunned because they can't get anybody to go back to work. Nobody wants to go back to work. Besides, have y'all been hearing about this California pipeline? I've heard little bits and trickles of stuff, nothing of any consequence.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Let's see this one. Let's see. With Biden's agenda at stake, the activists are targeting Seenum. I don't think she cares. She looks like she's an ass. Lifelong Republican will become a Democrat. So what? There's a couple of Democrats becoming Republicans.
There's a flip flop all over the country.
Yeah, that's not anything, dude.
The bottom line is they fought to be in control. They're in control, and they're not doing anything. They're making things worse, and people want to know why. And then the only reason why is because they don't know what to do. And now they have complete power, and they've got to sit there. I mean, at least even if the Republicans were in control of the Senate, then the Dems can say, "Oh, look at this, the Republicans. They're stopping us from doing things."
Holy
they can't say
crap!
They can virtually push things through. I mean, they don't need all that much support to do it.
So Joe Biden's overall approval rating is 38%.
Wow.
38%.
I'm not a Trump fan, but in January 2020, 93% of America was happy in their lives.
Yeah.
2020 January, before COVID hit, all that stuff. Trump was in there,
January 6th,
and if COVID didn't hit, Trump would have won. They used COVID against him, but he was an idiot anyway.
That's backfired on him. That using COVID against him now has backfired on him.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a huge plume, and people
are
dying.
What was Trump's lowest approval rating?
And you get the people who reject. It all became political with this vaccine. It shouldn't be political.
No, it shouldn't. What did you say, Jay?
What was Trump's and Obama's lowest approval ratings? Because Obama
Trump
was pretty low too.
Yeah, Trump had never fell before like 42%. Obama dipped one time below 40, but he stayed around 44, 46. Mm-hmm. He managed to somehow another stay there. But I know when he left office, his bottom number was 38. Yeah. So the Democrats try to say it was higher, but he was at 38%, right where
popularity contest is all.
A lot of it is.
Yeah, and it's not because of their job performance.
And I don't like these numbers. I don't like these approval ratings that they give the presidents because who cares if you like the dude if he does what like I didn't really care for Trump. I thought he was buffoonish in his actions and his way he talked to people, but we weren't paying $4 for a gallon of gas.
Nope.
In my department, the store that I work at, I had 10-foot half-inch sticks of electrical conduit were $1 and some odd cents, $1.38, I think. Before they turned off the pipeline, there were $5.76. We had a $17 and something cents panel of 4x8 plywood that was $52 after they turned off the pipeline. The wood is starting to come back down, but my plastic conduit, my plastic coated electrical wire is all double and triple the prices since they turned off the pipeline. And this is where the approval rating should kick this man out of office. But who cares if you like the guy?
Well, I'm wondering if he's going to make his turn. If his numbers keep falling like this, they may get him impeached. I mean, 38%. That's from two steady polls. One, of course, a Republican, but one a Democrat. And
he's not going to get impeached.
He's going to get impeached. That's not the issue.
You're dreaming if you think that.
He's going to get impeached. Yeah, they're going to impeach him no matter
I think
what.
he's gonna croak or have some medical thing where he's gonna be deemed not useful anymore as a utility, and they can put her in there, and then they've got their first black female president.
Yeah.
That's their aim. That's what they're doing. I mean, obviously that's the
I
mission.
can tell you this now. If by any means Kamala was to get in, she'd be gone the next day. Even the Democrats would vote her ass out. You'd see a 75%
I like her, man. I think she's a
majority.
freak. I love freaks, man.
Yeah, but she
I
would
think
suck
she's
as a
cool.
president.
I want to see things go hell in a handbasket anyway. So of course I vote for the battle.
I don't mind seeing a black female president, but it needs to be the right one. The people were so happy to see Obama. He wasn't the right guy to be.
Let me tell you, man. That woman put a lot of dudes in prison. Mm-hmm. She was a top prosecutor in California. She's not the little Democrat like liberal people think that she is. She's like the opposite. And she has a rocket.
She didn't really put anybody in jail. She ran the department. She didn't put anybody's ass in jail. She did, like the attorney general. She invoked the policies for him.
Have you seen her record as a prosecutor, man?
I've seen her as a prosecutor.
She put a lot of people away, dude.
Most of the people got put away by her.
They condemn her for that. The Democrats say, "Oh, you put a lot of people in jail."
She put a lot of black people in jail.
You know, I mean,
she did what she was told.
I think she put a lot of people in jail.
A lot of black people.
Black people included. I think that she put a lot of people in jail.
But
anyway, you know what? You can't really judge someone until they're in there. Now, Joe Biden is a train wreck. He's a disgrace. He's not even fit for command. The very fact that he's in there shows you how bent and screwed up the system truly is, man. And it's just a red flag for us being in big trouble. So we need to move on. We need to move on from him, and we need to get away from the Trump crap too. We don't need that type of mentality. You need someone who's going to be a uniter, and somebody who understands how to make things work.
We need Trump with somebody that has class, but we're not going to get that. Trump was an outsider. That's what made him so good. That's why he got away with all the stuff he got away with, because he was an outsider. It's also why he had so much trouble. But he did shake up. Just like he said, he shook up the politicians.
He didn't drain the swamp, but he did put a big dent in it. That's
because he's a heckler, man. He's a born heckler.
He's a bully.
But it's more than that. He's a good businessman because he straightened out our economy in no time.
Cutting out, man.
Obama never could get. No, you're all right. Obama never could get the economy straight. His best I think was like 6.1 or something. I mean, he just sucked. He never got a GDP over.
I like the fact that they destroyed ISIS in 5 months.
Yeah, no.
They destroyed ISIS in 5 months, man. Just like that. Mad Dog Max went there and destroyed them in 5 months.
Yeah, so, there was a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, they're building them up again. They're giving them weapons. They gave him money and weapons. Come on, man.
And food and dogs.
See, they didn't know how to defeat the Taliban. You know how to defeat the Taliban? They all did the same thing. Weapons. No, we should have put big box stores there. Walmart, Best Buy, all these big box crap stores, lay them out across the earth. People are going to be going there going crazy for big box, man. Oh, it's Walmart. We got to get some cheap stuff. Those Taliban would be happy. They wouldn't have any power. We're going to blow up Walmart. Then people are like, no, you're not. It's my favorite store.
But let's talk about the Taliban over there. They're not the same Taliban as who was in office when Obama was.
Big box destruction.
They may not be the same as they were before, but think about this. They now have some of our planes and helicopters.
Oh, yeah.
Think about what if they take one of those planes and fly into the White House?
Yeah, but that's not
Did you see what they were doing with them? Did you see that they were swinging on them with ropes? I mean, it's not like they're going to use them.
Because a lot of them can't be used.
It'd be stupid not to. It's better than stuff they got.
See, everybody thinks we just left them over there fully running.
These already did. Do you actually think that these guys are technologically capable? I don't think they are at all.
Well, no, they'll get some of the helicopters working. They'll get some of the planes.
They'll get some of them to work. Maybe not all.
But they're not going to get all of it work. That's right. But it's different now. Because
I bet they wouldn't even know how to fuel the damn thing.
Wait, so one thing is they're helping get Americans out now. They decided they don't want Americans in the country. They're going to help get them all out. And they're also going to help any women or any people who were involved with the government before. They want them to leave, and this is why. So a woman who was a school teacher there, who grew up, had never experienced any violence over there because, she grew up in an American rain, walked into Taliban headquarters with a bomb and killed the whole bunch of them. just blew the whole bunch of them all the hell back. And then another woman came out and said, well, you never know when you sleep at night if we won't just slice your throat. We're not the same woman we were before. So they've actually had to ease up. They've actually got a little worried now that the female population may turn and become terrorists themselves. So they've decided that they're not going to make them all. They're going to let them still go to school. They're going to let them still work. They're discussing whether they got to wear their face garment or not. But they're changing. And that because they also want to deal with the rest of the world. They want to be looked at as a legitimate government. Where nobody's going to look at you as a legitimate government if you're treating women as a third world.
All right, Jay,
it's not going to happen.
I'm going to ask you both. Where are the feminists, man? Where are the feminists? They're actually supporting the Taliban, and I can't believe it. It's a weird world, isn't it? Like these the stuff they do to women, it's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And then here are these feminists. They need to be free of the Taliban, and oh my freaking God. Where's Jesus and cheeses when you need them the most?
I think they're there, Mike, but I think the ones that are there in Afghanistan are scared, poopless. They're scared out of their minds to be murdered, raped, and what have you. Over here, we say a lot of things, but it doesn't affect them directly. Yeah, it's to be honest, I've been saying it for years. Why we are even involved in countries like Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan that treat their women such like that,
the Saudis have changed now
because
wait. No, but stop.
Because Halliburton got to run a pipeline down from Kazakhstan all the way through Afghanistan down to the Caspian Sea, and it's about gold. It's about lithium. It's about oil. The lithium reserves there are unbelievable.
Look, think about it. When Trump went over there, Saudi changed. Saudi decided they wanted to make peace with Israel. Israel's made peace with 5 of its enemies now. They're setting up coalitions against Iraq and shit. That's all.
Okay, all right, I'm going to stop you right there. In the last 3 weeks, who's the group that's in with the Taliban right now, courting them, is China, because China is going to put mines in there, and they're going to buy those mines. They're going to give the Taliban money, and they're going to get those
China's been thrown out
like they're doing in Africa.
You're on old news. China got tossed. The Taliban tossed China. They don't want to deal with them. They don't trust them. They think they'll come in and take over their country.
It's money. It's money, man.
They don't trust them. It's not just about money. You got to remember,
they all
just about money.
But they all hate the same thing. They hate us. They're all friends because the friend of my friend.
They hate the Chinese too. They don't just hate us. Look, they hate infidels. That's Chinese. Chinese aren't Muslims.
Because they're just a bunch of haters, man.
No, because they're Muslims and that's their religion. And they hate us too. So they're not in any bigger hurry to make a deal with China. They've already screwed with Russia and the United States. They know what's coming if they screw with China.
They've got enough
it's resources.
They want to be. They said what they want to be is an independent country and do business with the world. And they don't want to isolate themselves.
Yeah, that's what. Look what China's doing with Australia, and now they bought a whole island that the Australians can't even go to anymore. And the China said we're going to keep it open for people and whatever. Nope. So I mean, these are people that it's their agenda. Let's just say.
And what happened to China? But let's be honest. What happened to China for doing that? China did that. So what did America do? Oh, we're going to let them build 15 nuclear submarines. It was 10, now it's 15. China's crapping themselves. They can't even build 15 nuclear submarines. So here now you're going to have an Australian fleet sailing around with top of the state of the art all through the Asian Sea because that's part of their territory. And look, one thing about our generals, they're not stupid. The president might be stupid, but the other guys aren't. And,
I don't know. I saw a bunch of them the other day being interviewed, man. I'm like shocked and dismayed over that. That's the cream of the crop. We got problems.
Well, we got a lot of issues we got to deal with. But I heard 3 generals now.
We had Mad Dog Mattis. Yeah. That's a guy. A guy named the Warrior Monk is a dude you don't mess with.
I know, but it's worse than that because 3 of Biden's generals have been quoted now and saying, no, we told him not to do it this way. We said do a gradual drawdown, push Trump's agenda on getting this, and this done before we take out our troops. And even then, they suggested that we keep. But even then, they suggested that we keep no less than 5,000 to 10,000 troops there to keep the peace. And we didn't do that. We just said, screw it, pulled everybody out, gave them the bird, screwed everybody over.
Pull the troops out first.
It was Vietnam all over again. I was like, Jesus. It actually was worse in Vietnam. I mean, we just sold them down. At least in Vietnam, we said, hey, look, we only got X amount of helicopters. America got everybody out. They just didn't want to. And the bad part is,
it was naturally
the Taliban wasn't putting any resistance up.
If it was naturally occurring dumbfummery, we're in deep trouble. If it was a planned out type of situation, we're in deep trouble. So either or, no matter how you look at it, that's the leadership right now.
Yeah, we're definitely in trouble because of this. And, we were talking about moments ago, Joe said that they hate us, they hate China. If they hate us so much, why were they so excited to get our equipment?
Yeah, I know.
Why do they
why are they running around in our uniforms? Clothing. That cracks me up. Yeah, so now we can't even go get in the war over there because the Taliban's running around in American uniforms. I'm like, okay. They could go commit a crime in another country, and that was America.
We're literally going to have to redo our uniforms so they're significantly different from what's left over there. So that if we have to go over there, we don't wind up shooting our own troops.
I've never seen a withdrawal. I mean, we went over in Iraq and blew the crap out of Iraq. We went over there 2 different times. We were in Iraq forever. We left Iraq. We drew down our troops. Trump got everybody out, got all the rest of the equipment out. We didn't leave nothing behind, nothing that we weren't supposed to leave behind. And it was no big huff. Biden, it was like, I don't know what Biden thought. You know what? I know what he thought. He said, well, you know what? I'm going to show him I'm the boss, and we're going to do it my way, and screw what these journalists say, and screw what Obama says, because even Obama criticized the way he did. And that's it. And, well, Josh is right. They do hate it because you got Sunnis and what's the other one? So they actually fight in the Middle East over those two. The Iranians they're not the Sunnis, they're the other ones. So I always get them confused. But so you've got inside their own religion, you got a warring faction. I guess it's like the Christians with the Catholics and the whatchamacallit's fighting in Israel. Not Israel, in Ireland. Sorry, wrong country. But still, people, I mean, it's crazy over in the Middle East. My solution's always been nuke it, turn it into a big green parking lot, and turn it into we can use it for power. Because look, let's be honest, the Middle East has been a sore spot on Mother Earth's ass since it's been existing.
And even in prehistory, and I said the same thing you do, except for turning it into a what did you call it? A parking lot. I said, hit it with nuclear weapons, turn it into a giant glass playground, build a Disney World there when the nuclear waste dies down, and invite the world to come over and play.
Well, the reason I said turn it parking lot is that green glass, it actually generates a way more electricity. That nuclear glass, so you can actually use it as solar glass and just run Europe. The Middle East is a pain in the ass.
The only thing that's going to cure all of this is it's not weapons, it's education.
Let's talk about these two things before I forget about them. So one of them is, the liberals have now gotten slapped in the face over ID voting. So they're like, oh, we can't have ID voting. So the other day, finally reported, we've been bitching about this on air for like 3 years and 2 years since COVID started. So everybody's got to have a shot and a COVID card. Everybody. That means that you can have an ID because you know what? You've got to have an ID to get a COVID shot. So there is no more excuse for not having voter ID. The Democrats got hit with this really hard. They don't know how to get out of it because there's no way out. You've got to show your ID to get, because the company that gives you the shot can't get paid if they don't have the ID. So you've got to show, ID to get a shot. That means you have an ID for voting. There's no more excuse for no voter IDs. And they did it to themselves. All this glutton and greediness and wanting to power just bit them right smack in the ass. And there's no way out. There's no way to talk. What are you going to say? What are you going to go back to? Well, blacks, black and poor people don't have to get them. Why? Excuse me? Why? They have to get the shot. They can't get the shot without an ID, so they already got the ID, so why they don't have to show it? So they just lost their whole argument. And then, I'm always hearing the Democrats about how racist the United States is and how bad it is for blacks and this, that, and the other thing. So did you know, on average, 2 million blacks a year move from Africa and other places around the world to come here because the country is so great for blacks to start out in? So that just kicked the Democrats right smack in the gagoonas. So their own stats bit them in the ass.
Well, also think about this. There are traditionally, historically black colleges where there are no or little to no white students.
Yeah, which is
what's more racist? A college that allows a few white people in, or none at all, or the big colleges that allow everybody in. I mean, there aren't any historically white only colleges out there because that would be racist.
Yeah, and it would be racist. That's why there's no white entertainment networks or anything along those lines. Because I was listening to
humans have a long way to go, man.
Yeah, they do.
Humans have a long way to go.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we gotta learn. I mean, first off, we gotta start calling ourselves Terrans or Earthlings instead of whatever country we live in. And we need to just leave the words out. When someone describes something like, "Oh, this person robbed such and such and such and such," there's no need to say if they're black, white, red, or whatever.
Mhm.
They're just a person. Or this person won an award, or that person. There's no reason to say this black person and this white person, this red person. It's we make it. We're the ones that are doing it. And really and truly, I live in a deep South. I gotta
Mhm.
say. I know a lot of blacks down here. Got a lot of friends, associates, employees, uh, subcontractors, and it's not like when I see TV, you're like, wow, and even they're like, wow, it's not how it is down here. Racism exists, but it's almost because like Atlanta and New Orleans are black controlled cities. So they're their cities. If they got a complaint, they're in control. They can't blame the white man no more because they're in control of their own destiny. So you can't really say you don't have breaks, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, because you control your own destiny. You control the city that you live in.
Well, you know, man, it's blatant racism, like in the media.
Me too,
Look at
Josh.
this Petito case, right? Cute blonde girl gets killed, boyfriend missing. It's national headlines, national news. You know how many black girls go missing?
No, yeah.
Spanish,
Oh,
Asian,
let's talk.
all
Let's
kinds
talk.
of
Yeah,
people.
let's talk Native
Even
American.
even fat girls. I'm talking about pretty privilege, right? I mean, there are people that they don't care about,
Mhm.
but this is the media. Don't you see what they're doing? This is what they're made of. It's disgusting, man.
It is, and it's something we need to work out. Christopher, it's no, the show's called The Centralist because
They
most of us
race
are in the
bait, they
middle.
hate bait, and then that's how they make their money. They get people to watch through
Well,
hate.
and because
That,
it's
that's
effective.
that's what I see. Yep,
It's an
that's what I
effective
see.
it's an effective tool. If you look back in the 50s, when the government was trying to get marijuana onto illegal legislature, one of the reasons was that they were afraid that a black man with a 25 caliber pistol was going to rape their rich wives, and that's how they produced it through those stupid movies. Like
Oh yeah, there was a lot of.
movie about
I
weed.
remember. I remember these stupid little things they would show at church, or they'd come around in schools. These little 8 millimeter things, or what?
Mhm.
What? It was just some of the stupidest crap. and and you know what? Even down here, when I was a kid growing up, so because most blacks lived in New Orleans, they didn't live in the suburbs, so they weren't technically they weren't allowed in the suburbs, even though it was a free country. So Harry Lee, who was a Vietnamese, a
A free
Chinese person.
country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So supposedly that's what I was saying. So, but anyway, Harry Lee was a Chinaman, big guy, but he was the sheriff and been sheriff for like he stayed sheriff for like 35 years. So if you were black and you came walking into Metairie, especially Old Metairie, they would actually pick you up, put you in a squad car. They wouldn't arrest you, and drop you back off in the city and tell you have no business in these neighborhoods. They were serious too, and if you did it 2 or 3 times, they would arrest you. And then eventually
And
that
I'm
just
sure they
changed.
weren't nice about it.
Oh no, they weren't nice about it. They were brutal about it. And then slowly but surely, in about the mid '80s, it really started to change, and then through the '90s, it really, really changed. And now in 2021, it's just a whole different city. I mean, if it, and we give the North shit about this because right now, and my son, anybody in mixed relationship will tell you the North is far more racist than the South is. Uh,
Absolutely.
it's a sad thing that's that
Mhm.
way now. But hey, things change,
What-
shit goes around, everything comes around, and goes around. It's just a shame that we're there, and it's
It is.
it's like when we start hearing when we get stuck up in these what sex are you really?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's more scary about the racism between the North and the South, because I've lived down in Georgia for 13 years. I've lived in Maryland, which is the lead southern state, and now I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm not far from Maryland, but anyway, what I've noticed about the racism down south is it's out in the open. If a white guy doesn't like you because you're black, he'll tell you to your face. They're not usually mean about it, but they'll say to your face they don't like you. Up
Yeah.
here, the white people will act real friendly to you because you're black, and as soon as you're away, they're talking bad about you. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like in the open behind a closed door.
It's in see that's one of the reasons I like it down here, and everybody's pretty relaxed. There's big mixers down here. We have Mardi Gras, so there's lots of different people mixing
Mhm.
around. We got all those other festivals, and everybody wants to go out and enjoy the festivals. So we don't want to hear about shootings in the French Quarter, this, that, and other thing. We don't want to hear about race hate or any of that because we want tourists to come here. There's 3 black festivals a year here. There's 2 on the coast, so everybody wants to come have a good time, whatever color you are. they want you to come down and have a good time. They don't really care.
Mhm.
Heritage Festival is a great festival. It brings in a lot of blacks, but still a lot of white people go up to it because they have a great party going on up there. So, it just allows people to mix, and there's not that much crime. And really here, well, most of the South for that matter, the crime is not black on white or white on black. It's black on black and white on white. There's very little crossover crime. If somebody's going to get killed, it's usually a white man killing another white man, a black man killing another black man, or a shoot 'em up where somebody walks in somewhere and shoots up 4 or 5 people. But they get serious. If somebody does something in a quarter, they get serious. They will track you down. You probably go kill somebody in suburbs, not even get nobody look for your ass. You go shoot somebody in French Quarter, they get the whole police
done to stop all of this? What's being done to stop the shootings?
We're
you know how many kids are getting shot in New York City?
Done.
These black kids.
We're defunding the
black
police.
Kids getting shot. And where's Black Lives Matter? Where are these groups? Where are these people? Where are these protesters?
Living in their $5 million house,
in police precincts. Nobody says a word. Same for Chicago. Same for any of these places where.
Well, Black Lives Matter is in trouble yet again.
So it's you know what? Where's AOC, man? How come she's not out there crying for the kids getting killed?
AOC
in the streets
is
of New York
very
City?
busy fighting with Nancy Pelosi. Didn't you hear that AOC is the unconfirmed leader of the House now? Yes, AOC, right. I'm thinking, really, whoever thought that is a complete moron. They ain't none of them old Congress people going to be listening to AOC. They're going to be like, excuse me. But really, I have to agree with that guy said. He said there is no more centralist in the Democratic Party now. It's just socialists and liberals. He said there is nothing else anymore. He said that's what's making the party so dangerous. He said, any chance they get, they break laws until they get caught. They break laws until they get caught. Very few of them ever go to jail. I mean, some of them do, but they're usually lower people. So, like Hillary Clinton, let's take her for a minute. Hillary's not going to jail, but one of her lawyers went, and 3 of her tech people went over to Benghazi stuff. So they kept it very hush-hush, but they did go to jail. So they did go to foreign prosecutor. Now, there is one problem for Hillary and Chelsea. The DOJ decided to look into the foundation. And from what I've seen lately, there are big discrepancies in the foundation's money. So if that's true, somebody will have to go to jail, but it still won't be Hillary. Unless she decides to take a bullet for Chelsea and go to the Martha Stewart jail where she gets to bake all day.
We've been talking about Hillary going to jail for freaking decades.
That's what I said. The only way she's going to jail, well, no. There's only one way to put Hillary in jail is if she decides to take the bullet for Chelsea, because they're the only 2 heads listed on this thing, and one of the 2 will have to go to jail if they find big discrepancies like the DOJ said. Somebody's got to go to jail. There's not a choice there. So who do you put in jail? Do you put Chelsea in jail?
You can't mess with
Chelsea Clinton's not above the law. Hillary might be, but Chelsea is not. And her mama is not powerful enough to stop her. Not now, not under Biden's regime, because Biden hates Hillary. So she doesn't have the pull she normally has. That's why under Obama that's why she wanted to be.
He's probably afraid of Hillary. She's like the Grim Reaper.
Well, Biden might be, but he's so out of it now. I don't think he would know to be scared of. I think he'd be like, Hillary? No, Hillary's okay.
Just go outside and smoke some weed, man. Is that what happened?
Yeah, some good stuff too, man.
You don't smoke it right there.
You can't be smoking on the camera, man. You go to jail.
Joey was hitting the big ganja, man. What was that? Bob Marley Jelly Roll?
I don't smoke none of that stuff. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm angelic-like. I'm like your governor, man.
Weed is legal, man. It's like
it's legal
down here, my
Separation of God and radio, Joe. Separation of God and radio. Let's not hear it.
That's what I'm saying. We got to keep it out of there. I still can't get over. She said, "Y'all go out and be my disciples." I'm like, wait a minute, she thinks she's Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh my God. I started praying immediately. I'm like, Jesus, I hope you heard that.
She's got in New York City. She's got 13 million apostles.
It was just when I heard it, I was like, any other governor or anybody, Democrat or Republican, that said that they would be all over him for some reason. The media is leaving her alone, but the lawyers there's lawyers all over her ass. They're already asking her to step down, go down. I'm thinking, does she have a lieutenant governor? Did somebody step up? Because y'all might need him. It's like when you lose a quarterback, you lose another quarterback.
When Cuomo stepped down, what did I say about it? I said she's got crazy eyes, man. Yeah, I don't know her, but I know she has crazy eyes. Well, and I know eyes are windows to the soul.
Well, we were talking about this seriously. You said you like crazy ass women. Well, there you go.
Yeah, of a certain age.
He said crazy ass women. He didn't say
no,
crazy
she got
ass
money.
God-fearing women.
She got money. I mean, she's money and she's crazy. I feel that's right up Michael's alley.
In her defense, she's not terrible looking, but
no, she's not. She's not horrible.
I would date Oprah. I'm leaving it there, man. And the Queen of England because she's funny.
I'd date Oprah,
but I would definitely date Oprah.
This shit. I don't think what's his name would appreciate it. What's his name? Stedman or Steven, whatever his name is. But
I mean, Whoopi Goldberg, I wouldn't date her.
No, Whoopi likes white guys. Why are you hating on Whoopi, man?
Whoopi likes white female. She's lesbian nowadays.
I know. I know her
name from Tears Forever, man.
I know her ex-husband, man. I did a thing over at his place in Ithaca, man.
You did a thing with her ex-husband, Michael. We don't need to know about your things with her ex-husband, man. This is a family-rated show, my friend. Come on now.
You should see what was going on there, man.
Keep them for you know who when you're talking to her. Speaking of that.
If Oprah's listening, she should come get me in a private aircraft and take me away.
Oprah got mad at me because I turned her down, so she don't listen to the show no more. she's like, well, why won't you come over here? I'm like, no, baby, I don't swing that way. I'm sorry. And she's like, what do you mean you don't like black women? I said, no, I like black women. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So I just don't swing that way.
Black women.
I said, I just don't swing with the monkeys like that, man. And I didn't mean that in a racist way. I meant that, she might be something a little weird. Maybe a lot weird actually from some of the stuff I've heard, but you see, and I won a couple of bets on this. When Obama ran for president and Hillary was running for president and Oprah came out on Obama, I said she just cut her own throat. She's out. I said she will be out of a show in less than a year. And sure enough, it wasn't even a year. She had to give up her show. It was so bad, people. She had to go buy a network. She couldn't even get anybody to even put her on. She had to go make her own damn network, which don't do that great, by the way, so she could be on the air again. Because she was just like, because remember, Hillary was the first female running. She should have been back in Hillary. It showed she was a racist. She went after the black man who had zero experience versus Hillary, who had quite a bit of experience. I
think Oprah. She knew what she was doing the whole time. She actually owns Dr. Phil. She has him in a 99-year contract.
Yeah, but that's not the thing.
She will not let
She
him
lost
out.
one of the most lucrative shows on television.
She wields a lot of power, but think about it. She did a show all those years. Then she bought the Hallmark Channel. She owns a couple of them, the Oprah Network or whatever, and she brought her audience there. I think she's pretty happy with that move, though.
I don't think she is. Because she had the largest daytime show anywhere, making buku money.
Don't be insulting my girlfriend.
And then whap, she got slapped. The network fired her.
Yeah.
She lost. You got to remember, her core audience were white women, and she lost that audience. That was it for her. That's why she started the O Network.
She did all right afterwards.
She was giving away cars to the entire audience, 500 people at a time.
Yeah, she was doomed, dude. Even they were talking about her media all over. She killed herself. She went from having a big, huge audience. They were getting to the point they were having to pay people to come to her show. That's how bad it got. And even her old man will tell you she started the O Network because no one would put her on television. No one. Because they considered her to be a racist. So she showed herself
she
as
should
being
have
a
ran
racist.
for president against Trump, man. That would have been like
she'd have got slaughtered.
No, dude, that would have been like the two Godzillas going after each other.
Yeah, she'd have got slaughtered though.
The white women vote against her would have been brutal.
Yeah, she'd have just got cremated. It's unfortunate, but she would have. She's not. She just messed up. She should have just said, "Hey, I'm pulling for Hillary. She's the female, but she went for the color versus her own." So the country said, "Okay, well now we know you're racist. We ain't gonna listen to you anymore." Because you're gonna remember, females, at least 55% of the females were backing Hillary.
Yeah. And
here goes one of the biggest females, always bitching about females need this, females need that, and she turns her ass on Hillary and goes for the black guy. And then there was rumors that Michelle wanted to, hurt her. We'll just leave it at that. Because there was a lot of rumors about the two of them for a while there. But, where the smoke, there's a little fire. But unfortunately today, she's not. Because at one point she was the richest woman in the country, and she's not anymore.
Yeah.
And she was moving up there. She just it cost her a lot of money.
I think Angelina Jolie is now, right? Isn't that the top one?
No, I think
especially her divorce with Brad Pitt, and she's trying to take all his money.
It's like Hershey's daughter or something like that, or somebody like that. Oh no, it's Bezos' wife. I'm sorry, $35 billion.
Hey, she's single, isn't she?
Yeah, there you go. And she's a little whack too.
She's skinny. I like skinny girls.
So but I'm just saying, she's out there. So, Craig, we've talked about. We're going to actually do a show on that in the future. We're going to get some of our Canadian hosts together and do that. We're going to talk about the Native American children missing both in the United States and in Canada, and all that stuff about the Catholic priest and all that other stuff. There's some horrific shit went on up there. It's way too much for this show because we only got about 19 minutes left. But there was
call the Vatican and get a statement.
The Pope would say, "Well, I liked it," and hang up. That'll be the end of that. I don't know about this Pope. He's a Jesuit, so he might be a little different. Jesuits are a little bit more straightforward, but some of the other popes are pretty whacked. But, I did hear this. The Catholic Church has been considering letting priests get married and have children, and they've even considered letting a certain type of the nuns get married. Because you got to remember, the nuns are actually wives
in the back room.
There will be no abortions allowed, by the way.
Nun comes out breastfeeding, man. You see a nun breastfeeding? I'll tell you, if you want to throw the whole thing out the window, go ahead.
Did you guys know that all nuns wear a wedding ring?
Yeah, well, because they're married to God.
They're married to God.
They're married to God. That's why this is so significant. They said there had to be a certain group of them because the ones married to God cannot be married to anybody else.
It's like God. They want to get rid of James Bond and make it a woman, right? And every time they do that, they fail miserably. Like the female Ghostbusters, nobody saw that.
Because they never understand. Don't try to replace the actors. Just make something based on them.
The female Ocean 11, whatever said.
It's a good representation.
They actually blamed men for not seeing it. If you didn't go see it, it's because you're misogynistic.
When it really started was back with when they rebooted Battlestar Galactica. They gender flipped and race flipped a lot of the characters. So they took Boomer, who was a strong black character on that show, and made him a female Asian character. And I was watching that show, and one of the producers, J.D. Moore, was watching that same chat room I was in. And like on the third episode, everyone's like, "Oh, this show's great. This show's great." And I kept writing, "No, it's not great. It's a very good show, but it is not Battlestar Galactica. It's completely different. They've changed it so much that it's completely different from the original." And I'll bet you by episode 12, we're going to find out that Boomer, who's now turned from a black man to an Asian female, we're going to find out she's pregnant and a Cylon. And by the end of that season, we found out she was a Cylon and pregnant. And I said, "That's it. I'm done." I stopped watching the show.
Who was that?
They made Starbuck a female. So
who's
Starbuck
was
a female.
The blonde Cylon.
Katie Sackhoff with
But the most devastating thing they did with that show,
she is very pretty.
But the most devastating thing they did
that
was
series was cool though. I did like it, man.
It was a good show. It just wasn't Battlestar Galactica. They could,
but it had a lot of good moments. It was written very well and it had a lot of good moments to it.
But it missed out because people always forget this. You can't have good sci-fi without humor. It doesn't matter what kind of drama.
At one time,
you got to have
for Han Solo. They offered the role to Mick Jagger, man, and he turned it down.
Well,
they also offered it to Sting.
Thank God.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, Sting was
in Doom.
Yeah, he was pretty good in Doom. He was in a couple of movies, though. He was pretty good.
Did you picture Mick Jagger as Han Solo? That'd be cool.
That would be terrible. There's a movie that Sting was in where he plays Frankenstein or not the monster, but the doctor. That was a very good movie.
Oi, Chewie.
Well, my wife was a big fan of the new Battlestar. She really, really liked it. There was certain things I couldn't get past.
Yeah.
And what you doing up in here, woman?
Yeah, but the old one was
talk about. She shows up.
Old campy back in the day. It was cool though, and the new one it went to a different direction. But I really liked the writing, and I thought the actors were good.
Yeah, the actors were good. The scripts was good. The special effects were good. It just the name of it was. They had changed it so much. They changed the core main character so much.
Yeah. I mean, I did like the original who played the captain or the colonel guy. I liked him.
I liked how the AI kind of was making their own choices at one point, saying, "Hey, we want freedom for ourselves, and we'll fight with you." I mean, they had a lot of deep meaning to it. I don't know. It was all right,
but they missed out on a couple of key things in it, and then they forgot. That Battlestar had put some twist in it. The other Battlestar when it made its second, because this was actually the third reboot, no, the second reboot. There was a reboot in between this when they replaced
Battlestar back in 1980. Yeah.
Battlestar wasn't it when they came to Earth?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they missed some key opportunities in there, and they just should have took advantage of it. They didn't, and
because it sucked, man. Because Earth is boring.
Battlestar Galactica 1980 did kind of suck, but
yeah,
I did watch it.
It did kind of suck.
The whole thing was about getting to Earth, and then when they got there, it's boring. See,
well, the reason was because in the second series they knew that the Cylons were on their tail, so they kept on going, but they left a contingent on the planet so they could keep contact.
No, you want to see a real series? Check out Red
Thanks,
Dwarf,
Josh.
man.
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man.
Red Dwarf is a British comedy,
Red
sci-fi
Dwarf,
comedy. Oh my God, is it funny, man? You'll die laughing.
One of my buddies on Facebook was the costumer for that show.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Red Dwarf, man. I have the DVDs, but man, they were great together. Those guys were great. It's funny as hell, and it's like this degenerate just is like the last human alive, trying to get his way back to Earth, and it's just such a cool thing. And he's cool, and like the guy's got morals and values, but he's still kind of like, he's out there, man. He's like a wacko. I don't know. It was cool. I saw it on PBS one night. I got up in the middle of the night, sat down, and put TV on. I couldn't sleep, and this thing came on. Oh my God, I was laughing, man. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then I woke up my girlfriend. I'm like, get up, you gotta see this shit. And then she sits down. I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, it's as cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was produced by the same people who did the original Doctor Who's as well.
I don't know.
Well, who was it that did Blake 7? And
that wasn't that the same guy that did Space 1999 and
I know some of
the show with the marionettes in it.
Yeah, I know some of the Doctor Who directors worked on it too. Actually, they worked on that before they worked on Doctor Who. Actually, I got that backwards.
It works because they knew their science, even though it was a comedy show. But they knew their science, so like they were right on about like a lot of things. That was just real cool. But man, just
different than American TV anyway. They got a different type of sense of humor than we do.
Because they actually have actors who have talent, not like here in America. They just choose.
Some of the
whoever's famous, they go choose their kids. Oh, you got to put Will Smith's kids in this movie, man. For what? They have no acting ability. They're just his kids, man.
Damn,
Charlie Sheen.
Three Democrats sided with the Republicans on condemning Schumer. They just digging this out of a grave. It's a shame we're still a year out from the election, but I don't know if Biden has anywhere to go but up. We're done at this point.
I don't know the Texas sidestep, man.
They just showed the independent numbers a few minutes ago. 3 different polls: 32%, 35%, 37%. Pick whichever one you want. He's screwed with they're actually lower than the Republicans are. I was like, wow. And even he's down at 55 now with his own party. So
I'm going to go for the nachos and cheese poll, realizing that with Biden in there, I have way less cheese and way less nachos, and the nachos aren't as good because I can't afford them,
and they cost more too.
Just paying taxes. You work overtime for 14 days, and you try to get a little extra money for yourself, and the government says, nope.
Snatch that right out of your hand.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what it is. You wouldn't believe it. And I'm poor, man. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with America is that they make it so you can't get ahead, and then you watch them just take your money and throw it away or give it to people who don't deserve it. Right. I mean, there's so much of that.
Actually, the other day, the government sent some money to me and it said Michael Ingley on it. I was like, look, this is cool.
Did it have my face on there? That's my own personal money.
No, it was real U.S. money. So wait. Did he fall asleep with Boris Yeltsin to get out of here? No way. Okay, no, there he is. Okay. They showed him now. So him and Boris like Trump. He's just probably toying with Biden. Boris came down hard on China. And he said
Boris Yeltsin.
He said Boris Johnson. I'm sorry, Boris Johnson. I always call him Yeltsin, but Boris Johnson. I don't know what that is. It's some Freudian thing from back in the day. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I don't know what it is. It's like the Jansky girl.
Yeah, he has the map of China on his head.
For some reason, that redheaded chick, I just can't do her name. There's something about it just irritates me. I don't want it to roll off my lips or something. I don't know what the hell. Yeah, Jen Psaki, is that her name? Jen Psaki.
Psaki.
Whatever, Psaki. We're not going to go there either. But anyway,
it's Boris Johnson. Put the E on the end.
Boris Johnson and Boris Johnson and Angela Merkel came down on China, and both said, "No, that's serious, dude." Both of them said they warned China if they invade Taiwan that they wouldn't tolerate it. So you could be looking at World War III here.
We're not going to tolerate it.
No, not us. We'll tolerate it. We're going to say, what the hell? Biden ain't going to say nothing. He's just going to say, oh, well, I got investments in China, dude. I can't be upset.
It'll be just like World War II. We won't ender it until someone attacks us.
No, we won't have a choice because, unfortunately for us, we have 3 or 4 pacts with the Brits. If the Brits go to war, we have to go to war. It's not an option for the United States.
No.
And if for some reason we didn't, we would lose every treaty we had with every country. It would be horrific for us. So none of the generals are going to tolerate that. And that would be the first time you'd actually might see a coup is if our president, didn't help one of our friends. We'd be like, wait, what? And China's already nervous about the United States. They're not technically. They want to act like they're as technologically advanced as us, but they're not. They do have a bigger sea fleet than we do, a surface fleet, but ours is way more advanced than theirs.
Yeah.
And one of our ships is worth about 15 of theirs. So Russia could get involved, but even Russia and China's fleets combined are fine. It'd be a task force for America, but then the European fleet enters to play.
Let me tell you something about our U.S. Navy right now. We have submarines in the water that can go underwater for up to 9 months at a time.
Oh, yeah.
A. B, they can travel at 36 knots underwater, which is pretty fast in the water.
Fast. It's like 54 miles an hour.
While they're doing that, going 36 knots underwater, we can still hear their ships running silent from about 15, 20 miles away and still drop a bomb on them before they even know we're nearby.
That's why we got in trouble. It was in I think it was in 2008 or something. We ran into the back when, how they do the crazy Ivans. Yes. Well, we were running silent and we were tracking them. They were running in stealth mode, and they turned, and the guy said, "It was so damn quiet. I didn't realize." And when I did realize, it was too late. So I'm hollering at my captain, and he's like, "Yeah, you're in trouble, buddy." As they smacked into the back of the submarine,
hit the screws, yeah.
but they didn't. Nobody died, and it was an incident. And for some reason, the media didn't talk about it much. I guess because nothing sunk and we didn't start a war. Anybody,
yeah.
And it is for
died
us.
And the war begun, it'd be a different story.
Think about it. So forever, Russia been blind. Russia was flying missions into the U.S. and then Trump's like, really? So he started flying missions into Russia. So Russia quit. Biden did the same thing. They started flying missions all over. Biden said, well, you know what? Well, not Biden, but the general said, you know what? We're going to fly missions. Russia quits. Russia's always testing our response times. That's what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. If they can get an X amount of response time, they actually have a shot. But the problem for them is, and they know this, and I've heard Russian generals and Putin, I've heard Xi Jinping, and even the two that, Russia and China recently had an admiral and a general go, what do you call it when they leave to go to another country? They got asylum.
Yeah,
the Brits granted it to them. So they both came out and said, they warned them that screwing with the United States is stupid. Said, one, you can never hold their country. He said, you'd have to kill everybody in the country. He said, and this is how he said it. He said, because every redneck over there owns 5 guns. And he's going to be giving them to his friends. He said, some of them got enough ammunition to supply them for months. He said, it would be a miserable nightmare. He said, it would make things like Korea and Vietnam look like a cakewalk. Yeah. He said we would have to literally fight for every inch, and we would lose lots of equipment, lots of men. He said, eventually the U.S., if they thought they would lose them, would just nuke us. He said it's a no-win situation, and it is. Now for the United States, we have first strike capabilities now. We can actually take out China or Russia without having to worry about a retaliation strike. Now that we track this
for years, even back in World War II, Japan said that the reason we can't invade America is there's a gun behind every blade of grass.
There is.
Yeah.
And plus, everybody knows it,
man. You know what I mean? You got to have a strong defense, but what about just like getting along and working with one another for goals of evolvement?
Well, we could do that, but right now
it doesn't make money, Mike.
Russia's not that far out. Sooner or later, Putin's going to die, and we may see another Gorbachev or somebody else come in. Russia wants to be free, and its people want to be free, so it's actually headed for democracy. We're holding the line on our democracy, barely, but we're holding the line. Canada's holding the line. Australia is too, and the Brits are doing a great job. A lot of Europe is. So, I mean, we're here to stay, and China knows that. China wants to win the world like America won the world. But the problem is it treats its people shitty. It works its children, and it's got a long ways to go. It still believes in polluting. It doesn't want to get on all these things about clean energy and getting off of because they figure if the United States gets off of fossil fuel, it's going to go down to 5 cents a gallon or something.
Well, it's not just human rights. I mean, it's animal rights in China. I mean, you ever
seen
though, they did pass that law because of COVID.
they passed that law that there's no more wet markets anymore, and eating any animal, including dogs, is now illegal over there.
But you know they
Now,
still do it.
yeah, I was going to say now
Yeah,
how well they
out
hold to it.
into the country, they're still doing it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I don't know how well they're going to hold to it, but at least now it is against the law, and they will start cracking down more and more and more and more. And a friend of mine, and people, if you listen, it's kind of gross, so you might want to close your ears. So, a friend of mine was asking me about an argument for abortion because we do this thing for men's rights, and I said, well, ask somebody. I said, ask the girl. I said, tell them, give them a puppy, and tell them to rip off the heads and the arms and the legs, and then tell them that's what'll happen to the fetus because that's how they do it. They suck it apart. I said, so I said, see if
After a
they'll
certain
do it.
gestational period, though, you get it early enough, it's just a blip.
Yeah, well, it is. It is, and see, that's why the South wants to keep it under 8 weeks. See, for here, they think once it's a fetal heartbeat, it's alive. But in places like New York and California, they're saying, look, it could be coming out to be out to where, and you could kill it. Or sometimes they say because almost all the states have a born alive thing. If it makes that alive doing an abortion, then you have to leave it alive. But states like New York and California are changing that. They want to be able to kill them anyway. That's murder, man. I mean, I don't even know how you justify that. I mean, really and truly, abortions are borderline anyway. I mean, China's going to crack down on them again. So is Russia. Europeans are cracking down on them. It's just because they start getting used as birth control and things like that, and then it takes away from the father's rights. And I've used this quite a few times over the years, but I like to ask moms and grandmothers if your son got a girl pregnant and you had to have a chance to have a new grandson, a new or a great grandson, would you stand up and fight for him? And they always say yes. But the man don't have that right because a woman has all the rights. So if she gets pregnant, if she keeps the baby, your ass is going to pay, or you can go to jail, one or the other. If you want an abortion, she doesn't have to have one. But if she wants an abortion, you don't have any rights. See, that has to change. That's not fair to men in any shape,
It should
form,
be
or
a
fashion.
50-50 decision. I agree with you on that 100%.
So I would think, and one of the things was I would think, okay, so if a guy wants a baby, he's willing to pay for everything and take care of everything. And because, the argument for women is always the same argument. It's my body and it's 9 months of my body. That's true. It is. And it will rack on your body for 9 months. But let's not forget, the father will have it till he dies. Bottom line. So, because you're going to walk away. After she has a baby, she's going to walk away. That man, when he takes that baby, that's it. And he's going to raise that child until he dies. He will always be part of his life. So who's actually being put out more, the one for 9 months or the one for 40 years?
Yeah.
So it's no longer an argument. It's kind of like, them losing. So more and more of these arguments are being taken away. And I think it should be a joint decision because, because what happens? I mean, why can't a guy say, well, I want you to have an abortion? Once he says that, he shouldn't have to be responsible for the baby because he didn't want the baby. So a woman can say that, but you can't. So guys, pay attention to what we're talking about tonight. There's been so much moving on different rights in different areas that y'all are kind of getting left behind. So pay attention. You should have rights in any of this. This all should be rewritten, and you should have rights in this.
Yeah. And when the girl goes to the abortion clinic, she doesn't have to write down the father's name.
No, she doesn't.
And in most cases, they may not know. Even if they've been with the same guy, if they cheated just once, there's a 50-50 chance. It could be either or. There should be a genetic test before the abortions, and both parents who have genetics in that baby should have a 50-50 say. I want it, I don't. And then
so I don't, there needs to be some fundamental changes in that. Before anybody writes to us, we're not saying that we're anti-abortion or you can't have abortions. We're just saying that there should be some other options added into it. Wow. We should start being so careless about babies' lives and start paying attention. If somebody wants a baby, we shouldn't be killing it. Now, if nobody wants it, yeah, it's nothing else you can do with it. There's no reason to bring it into a horrible world without anybody to love it. You might as well kill it.
And if you think about it like this, we do it to our cats and dogs, spaying and neutering to keep the population down. There are a lot of us there's way too many humans on the planet, if you ask my opinion. But I'm not saying we go out and spay and neuter all of our children.
Things I worry about is so there's been 32 million abortions in the United States. That's not worldwide. That's just in the United States. Since
it's still a lot.
Versus Wade. Worldwide, it's well over 100-something million.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is the people we're losing. Like I was naming off people in my life, said, well, it could be Jack the Ripper, and it could be. These people could be, but it could be, the next Einstein,
Yeah,
the next
or
Elon
the
Musk.
guy who cures cancer.
Yeah.
But other factors need to be thought about. They need to, both parents should be able to care for and keep the baby alive through healthcare and food and clothing. If they can't do that, maybe they shouldn't be able to have it, or it should be given to adoption, which is another big problem. It's another situation.
And so
they should also be able to. I think they should be mentally able to. And we have so many people out there that are just mentally off that they can't take care of themselves. How they're going to take care of a baby?
It's just time. It's just time for a change in our country, and we got archaic rules now that need to be brought up to speed to the population. And we don't need to be writing off everyone. We need to, if there is, see that should be the first rule in every state. If someone's willing to take this child and raise this child, someone who has the rights to it or is able to, then you should not be allowed to have the abortion.
And have to have the means too. I mean, if
they have to have the means. I agree.
Physically care for it with money and food.
And if you're the father and you want it and take care of it, and you're going to sign off on saying, "Look, you're free and clear. I don't expect you to do anything with this baby. I'll take care of everything." Then I still think it should be carried to term.
In a lot of states, men can sign their rights away on a kid, man.
Yeah, well, I know that's what I'm saying, but in this case, a woman would be signing her rights away.
Yeah,
and,
they can. They do. They give up their kids.
But we're talking about doing it for a reason not to be allowed for an abortion. So I'm not all. So somebody asked me the other day this. You offer blanket abortions? Like, no.
You know why they failed, Joe?
Some rules to it.
I'll tell you where they failed. You're arguing the wrong direction. You're talking about, is it murder? Is it this? Is it that? The only thing that you can be sure of is that you're going to make it so that person will not exist. So we're talking about the rights of a future person, somebody who is going to be born and live, maybe have their own kids and grandchildren, do great things or do terrible things, whatever. But it's their right to choose their own life. So when you terminate that life, it doesn't matter if people deem it's murder or this. It matters that you're not allowing the life to happen. You're definitely destroying it. So so if you want to argue the legal point, I would argue for that future person's rights.
Well, we do. That's what we do. But we argue for the father's rights as well.
Yeah, well,
because
if they want
the father needs to have rights.
I know some great dads, and I know some fathers.
It's not. Yeah, but it's not like it used to be. More and more dads in divorce are taking the kids. Man. But what I mean is, more and more dads are taking their kids. And when I was growing up, you rarely met a dad raising a kid. Mom's always raised them.
Yeah.
By the time I was in my 30s, it was about 30-70. Right now, it's 50-50, and it keeps gaining. More and more men want to raise their kids.
You have the government willing to pay people to have kids.
Yeah, man. But men, that's what I'm saying. Men aren't looking for that. The men who want to raise their kids want to raise their kids, and they want to raise them. They're not looking for any of that. They're looking to raise a kid. There's a big section of our population now that's changing, and they want to be part of their children's lives, and they want them living with them. And mom can see them or not see them, but they want to raise them. It's been a big thing in the South for a while, but it's even starting up north to be.
There are men that hire surrogates and they have kids, and then that's their child.
But the point is that we're changing to a point where men want to be responsible for their children. So instead of aborting one, if the father or the husband or whoever wants it, you should be allowed for them to carry that kid to term. It's because in the end, it doesn't matter how you want to say it. When a baby has a heartbeat, it's alive. So when you kill it, you kill it. I mean, there's no other way around that. Doesn't mean if you're Christian or if you're not a Christian or if religion or politics doesn't come into it. It's simply what it is.
And there should be some situations where the abortion shouldn't even be argued about.
I agree.
Both parents agree on it. If the child is going to be born with severe mental disabilities or physical disabilities and it's going to have a hard life, do you want to have a child go through those difficulties?
And we shouldn't have companies like the one that what's the big abortion one that the liberals love and the Republicans hate, the one that got caught on film selling body parts. I can't remember the damn name of them now, but Planned Parenthood. They shouldn't be allowed to encourage women to have abortions because that's what they do because they make good money off of it.
Yeah, but it's someone else's biological material. If you have your child destroyed at one of these places, you should be able to have control over that biological material. It belongs to you and your wife or girlfriend.
Most Planned Parenthood people can have a say what they get from what they fund, and a lot of them don't fund abortions anymore because people are cutting their funding, and they do a lot of good for the communities that they're in. So I can't knock Planned Parenthood. You know,
I can knock anybody who sells baby parts for a profit.
It's kind of messed up.
But you're talking about some of them. You're not talking about the majority. You know, that's
the leadership. So if the leadership is that bad, that just makes me.
But I mean, how many hospitals?
Shit rolls downhill.
How many hospitals do you think?
They're not hospitals. That's not what they are. They're.
I'm saying, who's buying them? It ain't the good humor, man.
No, it's DNA. It's usually DNA experts, not anybody at hospitals or anything like that. It's researchers.
It's laboratories are buying it. Yeah,
that's who's
hospitals.
buying it.
Hospitals.
No, researchers are buying hospitals. Yeah, hospitals aren't buying it. Researchers are buying it.
No,
there's a whole, but there's a whole group of people that just do research. They don't work for particular hospitals.
And they do research at those hospitals. They rent out space. They do research with them.
They usually get their own labs and do that kind of stuff.
Dude, I know the business. I dated a scientist. I know exactly what they do.
I know a lot of people in the business. Shit, one of my customers working right now.
She rented out her space from Cornell.
They but a lot of them have their own labs.
She got to use their nuclear.
Matter of fact, you know what really weirds me out about this? A lot of these labs are in mini malls. It always weirds me out that they put these labs in mini malls. They put blood labs in them, all kinds. They even put Planned Parenthood in mini malls. I'm like, you got to be shitting me, man. Yeah. I know how mini malls are built, so it always kind of weirds me out a little bit.
Well, mini malls and strip, shopping centers, they're all over the place. I've got one right here, 2 blocks behind my house.
But that's just America now,
Is there a 7-Eleven around there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stop at your 7-Eleven, get a drink, walk across the street, get an abortion.
Sheetz is big throughout Pennsylvania.
Right. Well, right across the street this way is a Rutter's. It's like Sheetz. It's a gas station, convenience store. They sell food. And then back here is the Grace Planned Parenthood kind of thing. It's not Planned Parenthood, that company, but same kind of thing. It's a parenting thing for teenagers in the community.
But Sheetz has these coffee makers with the beans on top, and you can program exactly, like, grind your beans, how much you want, how much in the cup you want, how strong you want it. Oh, I love that.
Same thing in Rutter's. I got it right across the street. I can walk over there right now and get a coffee machine, grinder bean drink.
Just go grab the whole machine and walk out the door.
Man. Anyway, we got to get out of here.
I didn't tell you to do that, though.
We got to get out of here because there's another show coming on.
Well, it's worth $50.
It may actually already be on.
Maybe
so we got to go, guys and girls. So anyway, go check out y'all's news. We didn't get enough news done, but we'll make sure we get more and more stories each week. But a lot of stuff going on. Pay attention.
Got to talk about Britney Spears taking her clothes off.
No, we ain't talking about that.
Yummy, yummy.
That bitch is scary looking. I've seen her naked. I don't need to see it again.
She hit the wall.
Yeah, I'd still go out with it. She's got money.
She used to work at a local strip club down here.
Oh, really? Wow.
When she got in between her Mickey Mouse and becoming famous. On a side note, people, we got to go now. But do you know how many Mickey Mouse, Mouseketeers went crazy or did crazy shit? A lot of them became famous, by the way. There's quite a few of them that are famous. But there's a few of them that
it's all the Accutane that they take.
It's a very strange community. We'll leave it at that for tonight. But again, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Centralist.
You have no acne, but you're nuts.
Yeah. But anyway, we have Mike Langley here, which we're going to get him going out of here. And
I choose craziness over zits.
Jay, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight.
No problem.
But guys and girls, we got to go because I know Quantum Leap's coming up next. So y'all hang out for Kathy. Y'all hear a commercial as we're going out. Stay out of trouble. Have some fun. Keep giving the government shit. This government here, I thought, the last government was giving shit. If Trump would have even done a third of what this guy's done, there would have been like strokes all over the country, man.
It would have been mobs.
You would have been watching them on CNN just
the whole thing's a joke, and you guys know it.
It's but anyway, Viva la Biden. I love you, Biden. Give me a big kiss. I give you 100% rating. Go out there and kick some ass. But be sure you give the keys to the nukes to
Not Camilla.
Not Nancy. Oh shit. I'm not sure. We have to discuss. I have to think about this. Give him to the Secretary of Navy. There we go.
Okay. Hey, he's a smart
we can do. He won't move nobody. He's got kids. But I know, guys and girls, remember.
No. Ralph Nader, man. You gotta give him Ralph Nader. That's the only true choice.
He got evilness in him. Is Darth Cheney still alive? Oh, we could give it to Darth Cheney. Hey,
I think he is still kicking. Yeah, money keeps you alive.
The word alive is
no. He must be dead because his daughter's been getting her ass tore up. Yeah, he has to be dead.
Is a virus alive?
Yes, no, he's got to be dead because his daughter is. I can't believe he let his daughter side with the Republic. I mean, with the GOP like that. I think he would have a stroke over that. That would probably kill his ass. But anyway, again, guys and girls, thanks for tuning into the Centrals. remember, we'll be back every week. We'll be getting into some kind of trouble. There's just so much news to talk about right now, and so many dumb things. It's more like the comedy news right now. I mean, it's serious stuff because, like, we were talking about China and stuff going on with them, and some of the stuff going on with Europe. But
it's like the Onion,
really,
but for real.
it is like a twist between the Twilight Zone and maybe not Snoopy. What's the big dumb brown dog?
Scooby?
Yeah, Scooby. There you go. It's kind of cross between that. It's just weird. But anyway, and I know, be sure to check us all out. We're all here on the shows. Jay hangs out with Jeffrey on some nights on Church of Mavis. Michael's here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm usually here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Saturday, of course. Don't forget the Gray Zone with Michelle DeRoche and myself. You can only get it on Saturdays live. After that, it is archived, and you cannot get it until it's up for pay for listen. So, and they're great shows, but they're very limited view time right now. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in, and stay tuned for the Quantum Leap, Quantum Leap, Quantum Leap, Quantum Leap, Quantum Leap.
Halloween's coming, man.
Around the corner.
Welcome, everybody. You are all invited to the World Enlightenment 2021 event on December 24th, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We are uniting as one to call down divine enlightenment over the earth and all life forms. So join us for 5 minutes or the full hour for this worldwide event online in the comfort of your own home. Tune in live to uprntalkradio.com or the UFRO Paranormal Radio YouTube channel. Or you can go to our website and our forum site, worldenlightenment2021.org. That's WORLDENLIGHTENMENT 2021.org for more information on this World Enlightenment 2021 event on December 24th, 5 to 6 p.m. We are all coming together in harmony. So let light unite. Think Quantum Leap World.